I made a mistake and hit the wrong button there. But yeah, and I appreciate you guys coming to the channel on the channel and things. We're going to go a little bit more in depth with with the Democrats to push back what they're basically trying to do, what they have been doing. But before I do that, um, I want to talk about um, the 4 House representatives that joined the Democrats to force a vote on the ACA, the Affordable Care Act subsidies, right? Buckling the GOP leadership. Remember, I was saying before, and I keep saying I need to do one on the rhinos, the rhinos, which are Republicans in name only. They've been around way before MAGA. As I mentioned before, we talked about people like the Bushes, McCain, right? Cheney, right? We talk about people like that. Jeb Bush as well. There's a lot of rhinos out there though too. And unfortunately, when you look at like the House and Senate, we have quite a bit of rhinos over here. So they are nothing more than Democrats in disguise and things. So there's no shock about how Republicans stand with the Democrats. This is why I never voted before Trump, because what I've noticed is that years ago, it didn't matter which side that you were voting for, it was still the same. They played the game like WWE, right? So if you were either a Hogan fan or what's the other one and things, Randy Macho Man on Randy Savage, and then when they got cool and everything, for those that have been around for a while, guys know what I'm talking about, in the 90s, Hulkamania, all the other stuff, oh yeah, that type of stuff. So yeah, so that's basically what it is. So it's just theater play, so they and the reason, we already know the reason. I'm just gonna summarize this thing all the way up. We ain't got to go through all of that, but um, they're blocking it because it cuts their money. They align themselves. Both of these parties, Democrats, Rhino Republicans, it's all that whole scammy Obamacare crap stuff that they changed the name to the Affordable Care Act for the subsidies, enriching these corporations and things like that. There's big, big, big time money that went in their hands, right? And then they got the kickbacks. Of course, they don't want to see it go away. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to see it go away. So they're trying to block it, because they already know that the big, beautiful bill, once it comes 2026. So they, both parties, I'm talking about the rhinos and the Democrats, same people, the Uniparty, they want to make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that that this Affordable Care Act, which is not affordable, they have made it into one system, no choices, no type of, it's just a monopoly, and this is what they've been running with. This is one of the main reasons as to why we have in trouble trying to afford Affordable Care Act. I can't afford it, I got to be honest, because the premiums and everything are too high, over 1,000%. So they are the reason. They've been doing this. They've been ripping off the American people for years. Now that we are seeing it, ladies and gentlemen, first time we're seeing this stuff. And look at how Obama enriched himself. Man, he got so many millions kickback from the Obamacare, Same thing I mentioned before. He penalized people. If you did not have Obamacare back then in when he was around 2008, when in Obamacare, somewhere around there, you were penalized of like $400. They just hit you on your taxes. For every year you don't have Obamacare, it was no choice whatsoever. It trampled on our constitutional right. How's somebody going to force you? You got to have health care. But this is what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. These people are nothing more than communist. This is communism. All Obamacare is Affordable Care Act. It's the same thing. They just changed the name because they already did a study coming from the DNC. They did a study and they looked at Obamacare was so negative. That's why they called it the ACA for a reason. Because we already know when you say Obamacare, it's like a bad word, you know? So this is basically what's going on here, man. So this is what they do. And I was looking at it, I was reading because I get on ground news and I just be reading, right? And you know what I'm saying? So this is what's going on regards to that. So um yeah. So other than that though, I'm not gonna go into that majorly though. You guys can catch up on that, Um, but yeah, they always want to praise Obamacare like it was a great thing. Nobody could afford it. Nobody could afford it. But other than that, man, I welcome you guys to the chat though, and we're about to get started once again. I've been doing my job trying to uh, get as many people over there on Rumble, which I'm on there right now, and things. So yeah, a lot is going on today, man. In the news and stuff like that. Did you guys hear about that off-duty customs agent over there in JFK? And it looked like it was like a road rage or something. And the guy that got into the road rage with the off-duty customs agent. Now off-duty customs agent ain't nothing but a police officer because they keep their iron on them, which is the gun. So there's some shots fired, and I think they hit. I think the off-duty hit the back windshield. I mean, the back window of the car, but they're on the lookout for him. I think that's what I read. But yeah, let me see here. Let me check it out here. Like we got some comments here. I don't want to miss nothing. Let me see here. Oh yeah, I see you, Joe Mama, in the house. What's going on with you, Joe Mama? What is going on with you today, man? I gotta give a shout out to Joe Mama. Hold on for a minute. I gotta do it right. Oops, hold on. I ain't trying to clown you like that, Joe Mama. Joe Mama in the house. Not your mama, Joe Mama. All right. Joe Mama says, look at all the idiots you got to go through just to see the doctor. Exactly, Joe Mama. A dozen of DEI hires, right, called nurses, billing specialists, etc. Yeah, they did all the stuff purposely. Joe Mama, I still can't afford healthcare insurance. Talking about affordable healthcare. Man, they've been ripping us off the whole time. The whole time. We didn't have any type of choices, man. Since we're going to talk about it, man, why not? We go into it a little bit further before I go into the main topic, On Wednesday morning, Republican Representative Brian Fitzpatrick and Mike Lawler, Robert Branson and Ryan McKenzie signed a Democrats AOC discharge petition defying Speaker Mike Johnson on GOP leaders. So you guys remember those names. In fact, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do even better. Hold on for a minute. I'm gonna do one even better. Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. I'm gonna do one even better. That's what I love about us having a place, a forum. I have VA, but I pay my way. Yeah, you better than me, man. If I wish I'd have joined the military, man, when I said I was going to after high school. All right, here we are right here. So this is the gist of it right here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and post this up. These are the people right here that are responsible for voting against Mike Johnson and the GOP leadership. This is exactly who the people are. So we pretty much know that these are rhinos. Brian Fitzpatrick, you can tell a rhino easy, right? Because they align with the Democrats. They're all the same. They're all the same, right? And these people that I'm putting up right now, we have to primary they behind and get them out of there on the primaries, right? Right. So when the midterms come around, we have to, ladies and gentlemen, if you support this country and things, because these people, in my opinion, are the enemies of America. You know what I'm saying? Because talking about affordable health care and all this other nonsense, man. Give me a break. Man, it's pitiful, man. It's pitiful. What I would like to say. Yes, that's the thing about it. We have to boo them and vote them out of there. That's what we have to do. We have to do this, ladies and gentlemen. So I just posted this up. This is exactly what's been reported. I just pulled this up. Can you believe this? You see this, Joe Mama? Deport all illegal aliens. Oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely get to that though. But yeah, this is what's been going on here. These are rhinos right here. You can tell Brian Fitzpatrick, Mike Lawler. These are all rhinos. They're on the same side, same agenda as the Democrats. They are Democrats. Make no mistakes about it. The rhinos Bushes did say that they were going to be coming back. They want to break up MAGA, because because I always knew that anyway. The rhinos never left. They were just plotting, waiting their time. But they're in lockstep with the Democrats, the same party, uniparty. Joe Mama says Lawler from New York. What did you say? Let me see what you said. You said Lawler from New York City, NYC. You got a better chance of electing Jesus than getting rid of him. I know, right? That's the problem, though. But that's the problem, and they were okay with it. A lot of people in these blue states and all the rest of them, though. Yeah, that's the thing about it. MAGA for life. Yeah, this is what Michael said. Dylan. Yeah, shout out to Michael Dillon as well, though, too. Hold on for a minute. That's the wrong. Oops. Hold on for a minute. That's the wrong sound bite. Oh my goodness. Hold on for a minute. God dog it. Oh man. I'm gonna drop this damn cap. Let me put this over here. Get that out of my way. All right. Yeah, shout out to Michael there, man. I was gonna give you a nice little sound bite on there, though, There you go. MAGA for life, though. Yep. So yeah, these are the clowns that voted right along with the Democrats. You know what I'm saying? Yep. With this ACA thing, though, it never been affordable ever. Only the people, the rich upper, they can afford it. Echelon can afford it. So yeah. So other than that, though, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into the main topic and stuff. And I appreciate you guys coming in today. Do you guys like it in the mornings, Joe Mama? Do you guys, Michael, y'all like it in the mornings? Yeah, that was Camilla Harris laugh, man. I'm glad you caught that because that will actually I got that too.
Hello.
I want to talk to you.
Sound like the Joker, right? They should call Kamala the Joker Harris, right? Oh my gosh, give me a break. What the? Can you imagine? You can't imagine having a president.
For you to say it, loved it. You're like, how she was gonna say you in the you may clap.
And your answer is part of the job.
Oh boy, that cackling, man. Ooh, man. The Wicked Witch ain't got nothing on her with that cackle.
Sure.
Boy.
Okay. You're welcome.
Everything is funny like the Joker. Boy, everything funny like the Joker, right? That's crazy, man. Psychotic, man. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into it, though. So yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on, man. What do you guys like? Y'all like the evening show, light evening show, or you like the morning show? Can I get a vote? Which one do you guys like, in the mornings or in the later in the evenings? Which ones you like for the morning show or whatever, But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the show. You guys let me know which one you like. All right, so here it is, though. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it, though. For with this thing, I'm still thinking about that Kamala Harris laugh. So we're gonna go ahead and cut through the headlines to explore real dynamics of today big issues, right? So we're gonna be zeroing in on the heated front with American politics, right? How Democrats are pushing back against Trump administration mass deportation agenda, right? So it's December the 17th, 2025, nearly a year since the president's second term. He promised the largest deportation operation in history. It's in full swing. raids, right? Expanded detentions and policy shifts have led to hundreds of thousands of deported so far, right? With aims of millions, but Democrats aren't sitting idle, right? We already know this, from Congress to the state houses, courtrooms to public protests. They're mounting a complexity of resistance. In this episode, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna basically cover the background, the key tactics Democrats are using, which is the obstacles that we are facing, and what this tug of war means for this country. We're going to be drawing from recent reports, statements, and data, right? Well, aim to a for a clear eye view. We ain't gonna do no spin, just facts though. So we're gonna get into it, right? Setting what's it? I'm trying to see here. Hold on for a minute. I just had another thought here. All right, but skip it. Setting the stage, ladies and gentlemen. Trump's mass deportation push, right? To understand the pushback, we need content on what's being pushed. President Trump campaigned on deporting up to 20 million undocumented immigrants, which are calling me illegal aliens, prioritizing criminals, right? But extending to long-term residents. Since January 2025, executive orders have been revoked. Protections like temporary protection status, which I love, revoked that for groups from Syria and others, ended up DACA, right? Limbo in some of these cases, right? And to mobilize ICE with military support. Deportations are up significantly, right? Official figures show over 500,000 in the first 11 months per DHS reports. Detention centers have expanded the hold of 66,000, and the self-deportations are estimated at 1 to 2 million due to the fear, right? So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. So far, I'm gonna just see what you guys have to say and things regards to this. Let me see here. Joe Mama says, yeah, let me see here. I just see you are on just to check the news, but I can't stay long. Oh, yeah, it's all good though, man. It's time to feed those cows. Yeah, Joe Mama, do you like it more in the morning? Oh, you said evening. Michael said, yeah. Michael said the evening. Okay. All right. If that works, yeah, we can do that too. We can change it. They push back on everything. Yeah, that's right, Michael. They did. Michael Dillon said they push back on everything. I like your channel. I'm going to subscribe now. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I have my way of delivering the news in my own way. Even sometimes English does kick my keister, if you know what I mean. But it's all in good. It's all in good fun, though. It's all in good fun. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel as well on things. Yeah, because like I said before, we're just doing this, getting the word out and things. You know what the Dems are doing. And I'm a hardcore Trump supporter. Most people know this. I back it. In fact, I'm gonna just talk about this. I talked about Candace Owens yesterday. I gave my analysis about her with the narcissism and all that. I still say, in my opinion, that she's controlled op. No doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? And if you, like I mentioned yesterday, and Michael, you may agree with this. I'm sure Joe Mama does. But everybody that she has worked with these organizations, she don't work with them no more. She has no loyalty. She alienated a lot of people that could have helped Candace Owens. She's pretty much out there by herself, and she's gotten obsessed, in my opinion. If it don't bleed, it don't read. You know what I'm saying? And she knows how to manipulate the with the stories and so forth. So she is something else, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, really, Candace Owens, man, is what I call a disruptor. If you're not careful, I got some friends that fell in that trap. They think that Trump has been as a bought man and all the rest of the stuff. And yeah, man, she's with this thing and Erica Kirk and all this other nonsense. Yeah, man, it's terrible. Let me see what you have to say here. Let me see here. Michael says, I've lost a lot of respect for Candace. Same here. Same here. Are you right about that? You got Howard too in the house. Howard, what's going on with you, man? We got Howard in the house, man. I may have to start doing it more in the evenings as opposed to in the mornings, man. Howard, man, welcome to the chat, man. Welcome to the chat, Howard, man. We got Howard in the house. We got Michael in the house. New person, Michael, man. Yeah, man. Got Joe Mama, not Joe Mama, but Joe Mama. But yeah, man, Candace Owens, man. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you, I lost a lot of, and I was a rah-rah Candace fan. When Candace was like, her journalism, and she does great journalism. I'm not gonna take that from her. But it's been slipping. It's like remind me of y'all remember yeah, a lot of y'all remember Alex Jones, right? That's who she's becoming, the female Alex Jones. You know what I'm saying? It's what do they call that where they get people all panicked out and fear mongering? Yeah, fear monger. That's what it is. That's what she is, a fear monger, you know? Yeah, Michael says, what time zone are you in? Pacific time? Actually, I'm over here in Eastern time. Yep. So I'm Eastern time over here. So yeah. But if this works well for you guys, I can do it at this time for a show. Yeah, I can basically do that. Yeah, I'm Eastern time. I'm over here in Detroit, Michigan, right over here in Detroit. But yeah, that's the thing about that, man. Whoo, man. So, other than that, though, let me go back to our thing. But yeah, though, I appreciate you guys coming on, though, and things. Look like Rumble has really been working out as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So, setting the stage, Trump's mass deportation push, right? Understanding the pushback, we need content, as I mentioned before, on what's being pushed. President Trump's campaign on deportation up to 20 million, as I mentioned before. This is big, ladies and gentlemen. This is really big, because he wants to expand it where we can have millions out of here. So he said it's estimated between 1 and 2 million due to fear, right? People are already self-deporting too. People have been self-deporting since earlier this year with the CPP-1 app, where they can go in there and just self-deport. Because since Trump and his administration been around, he's actually been removing the illegal aliens out of our subsidy programs, WIC and all this other stuff. I mean, I'm sorry, SNAP and all these other benefits. So if they're not being put up in these expensive hotels anymore, if they don't have the set-asides no more, that's why they're, self-deporting, because they said, we can't get a job, we can't work under the table, we can't do anything like we used to anymore. So therefore, you ain't got no choice but to self-deport. But others that are still hanging around here, and then don't leave out the gangs and stuff. We're gonna get to that in a minute. The policies like the Lincoln Riley Act, right, that was passed earlier this year. You guys remember that? Mandated detention from migrants accused of certain crimes. The fast tracking removal, supporters say it was restoring law and order, reducing crime, and easing economic strain, right? But the critics, we know who the critics are. But including many Democrats, right, call it cruel, unconstitutional, economically disruptive, right? And that there is an opposition kick in, right? So this is basically what it is. This is what the Democrats see: cruel, unconstitutional, economically disruptive, right? So the Democrat strategy, right? Legal and legislative fronts, right? Democrats' resistance started in the halls of power, with Republicans controlling the White House and Congress, direct blocks of tough, but they're using every tool available. The first legislation, right? Right out of the gate in January 2025, right? Representative Ilhan Umar introduced the No Enemies Act to repeal the 1798 Enemies Act. Y'all remember that one? So therefore, which Trump has invoked for broad deportation powers, right? So the law allows wartime like actions against the non-citizens like Umar, right? Argued it was being dusted off of xenophobic purpose. Similarity, progressive, right? Like Representative, what's her name? Trying to think her name right now. Primella J, what's it? J Pell, J Pell. I think that's what it's pronounced. Don't get me started. Have proposed bills like Lake and Riley Act, calling it a stripping of due process and a highway to mass deportation, right? Jay Yapela has been what does it say here? Has been vocal, releasing statements on Trump Day on executive orders, labeling them step forward or step towards an unconstitutional nightmare. She highlights how these policies sweep up non criminals, legal residents, and even U.S. citizens, diverting agents from the real threat like child trafficking to family separation. In April, she was it decried decried the administration approach as a child trafficking to her family separation. In April, she decried the administration approach as a cruel, unconstitutional nightmare, right? Because the other one that's over here in Michigan, in the Dearborn, what's her name? Taliba Rashid, she said the same thing. How ICE is really breaking up families. These were illegals and these were criminals. But she's trying to say, oh, yeah, they're separating families and all this other stuff. It's unconstitutional. Oh, this is not right. Oh, gosh, they uprooting innocent families and citizens. These are citizens. Stop it. Stop it. These are citizens. What the? What? Boy, I tell you, boy. These are not citizens, ladies and gentlemen. These are illegal aliens. These are not migrants. I don't use the term illegal migrants. I call them what they are, illegal aliens. I'm an alien. I'm an illegal alien. I like that song by Sting, you know. The House Democrats, through the committee like oversight, right, have held hearings denouncing policies as cruel and illegal. In June, they slammed the Republican effort to override state policies, arguing for local autonomy. This is what's been going on. On the legal front, lawsuits are piling up. Democratic attorneys general in the state of California and New York are filing suits challenging executive orders on due process grounds. For instance, terminating TPS for Syrians in September prompt immediate court challenges, right? With Jaya Powell, nothing, it destroys legal pathways. The Fifth Circuit Courts, right? January ruling of DACA limbo was cited as evidence of ongoing threats, leading to pushing for protective legislation, right? Sanctuary policies in blue states are a big part of this, right? Governor Gavin Knucklehead Newsom, right, in California has doubled down on non-cooperative with ICE, right? No surprise there. Using state laws like SB 54 to shield immigrants, right? Newsom, right, conceded, right? Democrats failed on the border, which he has, but argued deportation goes too far. Focusing on violent crimes only, the state federal clashes, right, has slowed interior enforcement, right? Look at this, what's going on. What the? So you guys see here, man, you see what's going on? You see what's going on in regards to this type of nonsense? Let me see what you guys have to say. But you see this type of BS, right? Let me see. Do you video or talk some? Yeah, I do video, but I got some cleanup here to do. That's why you guys ain't seeing it right now. But but I have shown my face. I mean, you guys can look and see my other videos, but I will show it on there. I just got some things going on. I had to do the show, poor time management, but I am going to do the video too, and things. Howard says installed, okay, installed under the Adams administration. Yeah, and then Michael says, I have to go, brother. Hope your channel grows astronomically. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you for subscribing, man. Howard, yeah. You says if you lose control of your borders, you just as well declare yourself a failed state. Exactly. Because if we were to look at it, what is it? Poland has a very, very strict border policy, man. They don't play that. They were trying the UN. I'm sorry. Yeah, the EU. Sorry, not the UN, but the EU. They were trying to force. They're claiming their sovereignty back in Hungary. Hungary didn't like to push that these people in the EU were trying to force Hungary and these other nations to accept mass immigration. Mass immigration. Japan said they didn't want to do it. The Japanese did not want to do it, and I told them I'm in agreement, man, because mass immigration. They already got problems with the Muslim community over there as it is, because once again, you got to understand, in their religion, it's not about assimilating. It's about coming in, claiming peace, and then once they get enough population, like they did over here in Dearborn and over here in Minneapolis, their goal is to take over, to conquer within the Muslim Brotherhood, all this stuff. So we have to double down, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot allow the Democrats and the rhinos or whoever else to continue what they're doing, because let's just face it. Let's just keep it 100, right? The Democrats, the Uniparty, they rely, right, on their constituents. Who are their constituents? Well, we already know. The Democrats need these illegal aliens, right? These are the people that they protect. These are the people that they've been given the American people set asides and stuff. This is their base, and they want to protect it no matter what, right? So their job is to with the spin news, to deem ICE as a villain, to go out here and do whatever what, and they're gonna villainize them, right? Oh, they're rounding up American citizens. Oh my gosh, they're doing this and that. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so that's what they're doing. Oh hell no! That's exactly what they're doing, though. And we can't sit back here as Americans. We can't sit back here and allow this type of travesty to happen. Where else are we gonna go? So, like I said, mass deportation has to happen, ladies and gentlemen, and it is happening, because the goal is what Trump said, is at least if we can get 20 million or more out of the country. And we're already kind of seeing changes now. Look at the trucking industry. The trucking industry. I know a lot of truck drivers. They have more demand for trucker drivers right now than I ever seen. They rounded up, I forget how many of the trucker, and I'm gonna go back and revisit that. That'll probably be my next topic tomorrow. It's about how many of these non-speaking people that are from other countries that have came over here. They practically just was giving them a CDL. I wouldn't want nobody to practically give me a CDL when I haven't had no prior training, because that's a weapon. A truck is a weapon, especially if you're not specialized in what's the air brakes. You have to certify, I believe, every year. I got close friends that are truckers, so we just cannot allow them to continuously do what they want to do. And we know that the Democrats, Demo KKK rats, they are notorious for this type of stuff, because it's about protecting their future, right? All this pushback, all these lawsuits, all this stuff is about protecting their welfare, right? That's all it is. We already know. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen. So that's basically what is going on with this type of thing, though, man, as we start to go further on, though. Once again, I appreciate you guys coming on the channel and things like that. I appreciate you guys over there on Rumble as well, and on Kick. You guys are over there, and Twitch and stuff like that too. So I appreciate you guys on those other platforms. As I go, I'm gonna be on TikTok pretty soon, doing what I always do. I'm start, following the format which I'm doing right now. Staying on my format and stuff. But yeah, man. So this is what is going on with this so-called mass. Well, I would say this block from the Democrats, this so-called blocking the mass deportation. So the Fifth Circuit judge or courts, right? January ruling on DACA limbo, right? It was cited as evidence, right? Ongoing threats leading to push for a protective legislator, as I mentioned before, the sanctuary cities. We talked about that, right? But what about the public and the grassroots pushback? You know, shaping opinions beyond law, right? Laws that the Democrats are fighting in the court, right, of public opinion. This is where they always fight. They fight in the court of public opinion with the Democrats, right? They are what we call unified around a message of humanity versus cruelty, as NPR, right, note in June, highlighting family separations, economic harm, and division from crime like sex trafficking has been key, right? Media optics play a role. Democrats and allies, right? Spotlight specific cases like long-term resident or mixed status families to drum up the controversy and to slow the process. Protesters organized by groups like ACLU, right? That's a big one right there, and immigrant rights, right? These are the things right here, that have drawn upon crowds with Democratic leaders joining to amplify. This is what they do. Polls are a weapon to recent surveys show Americans drawing the line at mass deportation, the majority disapproving of family separation and broad sweeps, right? In California, right? Our doubts are growing across the parties, right? So, with the June polls, found a mix of negative views on actions like suspending asylum, Democratic cities. These to argue the public wants reform, not raids, right? Right. So think tanks like Third Way argue Democrats to balance show borders seriously, right? While opposing access. The American Immigration Council released reports analyzing Trump's plan as attack on democracy. Social media from figures like Senator Warren, right? We have Sanders, or Bernie Sanders, and AOC reinforces this, right? Though the search shows more from the progressives like Jaya Powell and Umar. All right, hold on for a minute. All right, sorry about that. It's my phone. Yeah, so that's what it is, though. So the challenge for the Democrats, why it's a uphill battle. Here it is. Despite the efforts, Democrats are struggling, plain and simple. The the Post reported in December that they're quiet, lacking a ununified voice, which they are, right? And the admin internals debates. Some moderates worry tough immigrations like alienates voters, while progressives push harder, right? Public support for deportation remains high for criminals. DHS claims the overwhelming backing. PBS polls show a split, with many seeing it as necessary. Logistically, Republicans control the limits, wins, right? We're talking about from court blocks are temporary and the state resistant faces federal overrides. Critics accuse the Democrats of wanting immigration for the voters and census gains, complaining message, right? Still, the shifting poles offer hope. Reservations, right, are rising. So this is basically what it is, though. This is what they're doing, ladies and gentlemen. This is exactly what they're doing. So what does this mean? The outcomes and the road ahead, right? This pushback has slowed but not stopped deportations. It could force compromise, like forcing on criminals or escalated divides. For America, it's about balance, security versus humanitarian, right? Economics versus enforcement. The Democrats' efforts highlight alternative pathways for reform, but success depends on the unity and the public sway. And that's basically what they're doing. Public opinion, ladies and gentlemen, is what it is that they're trying to do. Let me read what you guys have to say here. I don't want to miss anything. Hold on for a minute. Let me take a look at it here. All right, let me see here. Look like Howard, you said something here. Let me see here. Okay. The destruction of the family unit under Johnson will welfare create soulless men and dependents? Absolutely, because it's already been working though. I mean, when we got all that COVID stuff and all that destroyed a lot of people from willing to want to go to work. People got so displaced and content. You know what I'm saying? They really did. They really did. Howard says women. Yeah. Um, you're right, Howard, as what Joe Mama said. Let me see here. What else? Howard said, we never recovered from that. And it has only few more socialist programs that are working people that are forced to accommodate. Exactly what it is, Howard. That's exactly what it is. Because when we start looking at this thing, this is nothing but an operation. The Dems, we know it. The Dems, right? These are the people, these are their constituents, not the American people no more. And we wouldn't have, and let's happen to say, I'm gonna say this though, guys. Let's go ahead and say it for what it really is. So if Kamala Cackling Harris, if Kamala Harris, right? I'm just saying though. So if she got in here, this is what we've been listening to.
Hello.
I want to talk to you. Okay, I'm first.
What? They want to know.
We're there after two.
Brown brush. I mean,
I was waiting for you to say it.
love goodness. You're like, how sure was that? So you in the quick. You may clap.
Yeah, man, that's what we would have had to been dealing with. We would have had to been dealing with that, and she would have had a real mass, immigration in this country, because that's what they were doing when Joe Biden wasn't that long ago. It was last year. They lied to the American people. What's his name? Alejandro Mayorkas. They lied to the American people, talking about the border was secure, which it wasn't. And this is why we had over 15 mil in this country. And demand, we started seeing the decline. Property went up, rent went up, everything was going up, right? We had more crowding of these illegal aliens in our country that really didn't have they shouldn't even have been behind the wheel driving, right? That was a joke, right? Oh man. What the Howard says Kamala never left downtown club mindset. You're absolutely right. Yeah, Joe Mama says it's if Camel Toe got in, we would probably be in World War III. I agree with that. We go back as far as Hillary Clinton, because she would have given Zelensky all the long range missiles he wanted. Yeah, we would have been in a forever war, because y'all notice they make Russia the big bad boogeyman. They need a boogeyman, and Russia has been the boogeyman since after World War II. Let's go and keep it real. Be honest, Russia have never been an enemy of America, right? They put all kind of sanctions on Russia. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm rah-rah American, but at the same time, they have deemed Russia really, really bad though, man. All these false flag operations, all these things that they were going on. Well, look what ended up happening. They had to create the European Union. You know what I'm saying? What else did they create? They created NATO, all the rest of this stuff. All that got to go, man. When we get that out the way, we be good. The left always need a boogeyman. Yeah, it's a straw man thing. That's what they do. They build these straw man, boogeyman, woo, scary, oh, so and so scary. And to be able to push war, and things, get more funding from, the military industrial complex. You're absolutely right, though, Howard. And you too, Joe Mama. Yeah, this is exactly what it is. This is exactly what it is. So, yeah, they've been pushing this stuff for a long time about Russia. When I was growing up, I used to think, damn, man, Russia hate America that much. That was a whole propaganda. Yeah, they trying to infringe on our American beliefs while they were communists over there and all this other kind of stuff. Had us believing that these people, remember the Cold War? You remember the with the Cuban Missile Crisis and all the rest of that stuff and the Cold War and all that? We were thinking like, damn, World War III was about to happen back in the late 70s, early 80s. I mean, started in the 60s, but I'm just saying though, that back in those days, we had Cuba, we had Fidel Castro. You guys that been around remember, maybe or maybe not. Now, I mean, I ain't been about that far, but I know history, So yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is a thing we talking about because there was it false flag operations, even with that Cuba thing, the baying pigs or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Uh, Joe Mama says, yeah, I patrolled the Iron Curtain. I mean, you was telling me that. I remember it well. I know Joe Mama. Now, Joe Mama remember it well, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Mama remember it. Howard says, Detroit lost half of its population. Where did it go? Well, they moved out, man. They moved out to, what is it? Texas. They moved out there to, what's the other one out there? Arizona, Texas. Most of them got the heck up on out of here though, man. You know what I'm saying? And this was going on when we had that recession and everything. I remember that, man. It was real bad, Nevada, a lot of them moved out there. Yeah, a lot of people moved out, but you know who moved in though? We got a lot of illegal aliens, non-speaking English people, truck driving, all the rest of it. We have a large Indian population here in Detroit too. I kid you not, man. You may as well call it Little Bombay. You know what I'm saying? You may as well call it Bombay or Mumbai. It's a little Mumbai, man. If you pull it up, there are a lot of Indians over here in Farmington Hills. Farmington Hills have a large Southern Indian population over there, and they're in other areas too. But you go to Hamtramck, you're gonna see a lot of people from Yemen, and then you're gonna see Dearborn, which is not that far from Hamtramck, and those are a lot of Palestinians. Majority of them make up are Lebanese and Iraqi. So you have a lot of Middle Eastern people in these cities, though. They're out in the suburbs too, but most of the time they're over there. So yeah, this is something, man. This is man, what So yeah, I'm gonna have to put that on the sound bite, man. What I have to do that. Jesse Lee Peterson. I'm a big fan of Jesse Lee, man. He's funny. Jesse Lee Peterson is a funny guy, boy, I tell you. You know what I'm saying? But that's basically what it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it is, though. So I love the fact that they're being rounded up right now, these illegal aliens. I always call them illegal aliens because they shouldn't have never been over here in the first place. This was a failed policy of the Biden and Obama-Biden, because that's who was really running it, in my opinion, as well as the borders are Kamala cannot stop laughing Harris, those cackles and everything. She would have been doing this and laughing at the same time. Can y'all imagine, though, allowing these illegals in, catch and release and all this other stuff that they were doing, and she was just laughing, having a great time while trying to destroy America. That's exactly what she was doing, man. Yeah. But yeah, man, we the population in Detroit and stuff, because it was actually on the decline, as I mentioned. Remember when with the recession, it was a real bad when the housing market, all that. So Obama, he gave the bailout program, right? The bailout to two of the automakers, right? Which was GM and Chrysler. Ford never took it. They just did the bankruptcy reorganization thing with Ford. But that's what ended up happening, man. We had an exodus of people here in Detroit. Joe Mama, let me see here. Howard says, is there any attempt to do something with all the baited rundown areas, right? Okay. Yeah, baited rundown areas and have illegals just living there, blah blah blah. What they've been doing is that we have a thing called gentrification. A lot of people have been coming from California coming here to Detroit too. They've been buying up houses for like little or nothing, and they've been building them up. And this is another reason why the property and housing is going up so much. We got a lot of people from California, New York, and other places. Joe Mama says they had to import people in the end. The banks had thousands of houses to rent. Yeah, that's true too. Yep, that is true. Listen to Joe Mama on that one, man. So yeah, this is a lot of things that were going on, which led up to the bubble that busted, with the housing market and all that stuff. If you had money back then, shoot, you would been making it good. You would be making it big. But yeah, this is where we are with this thing though. And this is this is all the plan anyway. This is by design. So major pushback on mass immigration. They're trying to get that guy. What's his name? They're trying to bring that guy back here again, getting him out of prison. Jose, what's his name? I just had his name. What's his name? You guys know his name, man. Hold on for a minute. What's that guy's name? Hold on for a minute. All right. Who is? Oh yeah, that Garcia guy. What's his name? Mr. Garcia. Supposed to be the man from Maryland. Ain't that dude? The one that they trying to release and get out of prison or jail again? Yeah. Howard says, I guess it's to Mama. Yeah. Better housing for an Indian than where they come from, right? We're paying it down though. Yeah. So Mama said better housing for an Indian than where they come from. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true though, because again, they hold most of the engineering, the H-1B visas and all that. 70% of H-1B holders are coming from India. It's amazing. But it is true though. This is good living for them, man. It's good living for them. Boy, I tell you, that's a lot of money for them. Joe Mama says, slot of it. Okay, the slot of it goes back to dismantling the River Rouge plant that employed almost 90,000 folks. See, I remember that. Yeah, a lot. I got you. Yeah. So, yeah, but that's it, though. You're right, though, Joe Mama, because that Rouge plant, it was huge. That's the one where they do the steel down there, that Rouge plant, I believe. So I knew people that worked there and things, but yeah, this was part of the plan too, because it was an exodus of a lot of steel and things with that and the Chinese. Yeah, it was the plan, man. This was a conspiracy plot that was against America. But now we're going to be back producing that. These old factories and things like that. Our grid is about to be fired back up. The coal industry, everything, furniture coming back to these places that make furniture. Like what is it? I think it's Pennsylvania as well as here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Which big on manufacturing furniture and stuff like that. So yeah, man, we're gonna start seeing it. Joe Mama said it comes in as ore, right? Right? Came out as a car. Yeah, that makes sense though, Joe Mama. It was big though, but you're right. It was as big, Joe Mama, as it would have been in Pittsburgh, right? Pittsburgh was known for its steel, and then you had Cleveland. They were also a powerhouse. All that Rust Bucket area that Joe Mama is talking about, all that shut down. Look at Cleveland. Cleveland was like Detroit, Pittsburgh. These were the man, they were hiring. It was booming. They purposely did this. They shut these companies down. They went overseas, China and all these other people. This was done. This was the plan, man. It really was. Howard says, I was just going to say Pittsburgh. Yeah. Yeah, this is exactly what was going on. Joe Mama said it was the second largest steel plant and Ford owned it all. Yep, he's right. Having fun yet? What's going on, Kirk? We got Kirk in the house, boy. I didn't call you by your real. Sorry about that. I'm so used to that. Yeah, Omega, sorry about slip of the tongue. Slip of the tongue. We got Omega in the house. Joe Mama, there's Omega. Omega, Joe Mama. Howard, Joe, yep, we got Omega in the house. Yeah, Omega, I'm gonna have to start doing it around this time, man. This because I do it in the mornings, man, and most of the people say that they like it around this time doing it. I'm gonna have to change the name from the morning show. Yeah, I know, man. It shit happen. Hey man, I haven't been keeping I've been staying track in the mornings. I missed a few days in the morning. But I think this works well for me because I'm not a morning person, but I welcome you to the show, man. We just already talked about the what was going on with the Democrats in the pushback against the exodus, or we could say the deportation of these illegal aliens. So we already went down there and did all that, man. But I welcome you to the show. As always, man, it's been all good. You see what I posted up here? We talked about the lowdown rhino Republicans that signed along with the Democrats with the ACA of discharge partitions, right? They're really pushing for this thing, right? They really are. Yeah. So let's see. Omega says, yeah, 1,500 hours is cool. Heading back to Michigan. That's what's up. You dropping off a load, or I guess you already dropped off the load. So yeah, I got another friend that worked at tri-state area too. He was down there dropping off a load over there in Mansfield, which I've been there. Mansfield, Ohio, where they made Shawshank Redemption. Yep. Howard says, "Hey, I'm just an old farmer. I ain't know that from Iowa. Man, I got a lot of farmers that rock with me, Howard. Joe Mama is a farmer. Yeah, man, look at that, man. An old farmer from Iowa. Former combat vet. Man, you guys in this farming as vets, boy. Just want the best for my family and country. I know that's right. Same here, Howard. Same here, man. Omega says just dropped 90,000 pounds of steel in Goshen, Indiana. Wow. Yeah, that's amazing, man. You guys are busy now since Trump. You know what I'm saying? You're going to start picking up even more, man. Truckers are in high demand right now. And I got farmers and stuff in here, man. That's what's up. Vets and stuff. All you guys are vets, man. I got a lot of vets that rock with your boy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Thank God for you guys, man. That's what's up. Yeah. But you seen that money that Trump is supposed to be giving you the farmers? Because I think I covered that already. But it's a one-time thing though. But what's y'all take on that? Helping out the farmers. I just call it farm aid because that's exactly what it is. The farm aid and stuff, Yeah, it was farm aid, live aid back in the 90s. Remember all that stuff going on, Did the farmers really get that money though, or was it just another scam, I don't think they probably got that money from farm aid back in the day. Yep. Y'all remember farm aid? Mm-hmm. Helping out the farmers, Yeah, we are the world. We are the children. Remember that one? Yep. Yeah, man. All that stuff. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but yeah, we've been covering it though, man, today though, just talking about some stuff. Yeah, but that's why I put this up. These people right here, while y'all guys talk about that, yeah, these people are gonna be definitely primary right on out of there. because that's the thing about it, though. We got to get these rhinos, these no good ass rhinos, out. If we can get them out of the Senate, is the most important one. They both are, but let me go back on the farm stuff. So Omega says agricultural subsidization. Usually, English kicks my ass sometimes. Usually when the government wants more corn or soybean. That's interesting. Yep, never knew that. Howard says, never seen a dime from it. I didn't think y'all did, man. They fueled the Joe Bon Jovi. I remember that. The bee farm, yeah. So I didn't think y'all got that back in the day with that farm aid stuff, though, Howard. I didn't think y'all got a penny of it, man. See, that's what they do, man. The same thing with Black Lives Matters. All their organizations is nothing but fundraising for their personal pleasure. Look at that, man. Matter of fact, you guys are giving me an idea for the next show. And I think we need to talk about this stuff, man. Really. Joe Mama says, I told you many times, your tax money does not support the farmers. I know, right? It really don't. Never has, never will. Yeah, man. Never. That's what Joe Mama say, man. In fact, they destroyed a lot of the farmers, even with the black farmers too. They right in the mix with the regular farmers. They hit them first. I remember that, man. Man, I tell you, man. How many independent farmers out there? Was it less than 10%? Is it less than 10%? I'm curious for the independent farmers. Not Purdue and all these other people, not Tyson and all them, but I'm talking about independent farmers, right? Soybean, corn, right? We talking about stuff like that. How many of independent farmers? Kurt says no, they didn't. No, they didn't. It was just a rebate. A rebate. You got to prove that you bought the soy and corn first, and then you deal with the bureaucratic nightmare to get the rebate. It's about 5% now. Damn, man, that is, oh my gosh. They are destroying the farmers. No wonder we have all this Franken food stuff coming from Mexico. And oh my goodness. What the? Oh man, wait a moment now. Wait a moment, y'all. You got to do this right, man. What the? Man. Oh, hell no. 5% now? Man, you guys are giving me some information, though. I knew it was bad. This is the policies. All this that they're saying, ladies and gentlemen, are policies from the left and the Uniparty. It's actually both. These are the policies. They purposely done this to trying to destroy America. They personally tried to do this. Right? They are the ones responsible. Can't you guys see that this is an operation? Not you guys, but I'm talking about people that may not even know what's really going on. This is an operation for real, for real. They do not have our best interests at heart. They hate the American people. They were attempting to destroy America from within. And now that the private farmers, Howard said 5%. And that somehow sounds about right. Right? When you ask these politicians these type of questions, they don't want to talk. We know it was kickbacks and other programs that were going on. They don't want to have nothing to do with this. They don't want these trouble. They don't want no debates about that. This is how much they think of us. They just think the majority of the people in America are dumb and stupid. They really are. To vote for this nonsense, you got to be dumb and stupid. That's just how bad it is. We can't even get respect for our farmers, the people that were once the leaders of feeding America. It was the breadbasket of America, right? This is jacked up. We have to rely on other countries to feed us when we got farmers here. That's why it never made any sense. I said, shit, when I didn't know any better. I mean, we over here getting food from Mexico, where they have to go through customs and be hit with radiation to kill the varmints and other stuff that's in there. Don't think I don't know that. This is sad. Joe Mama says Al Gore was telling for hers and FAA kids to go to Brazil because the agriculture was going to be no more. He told them that. He told them that when he was vice president. This is a long-term plan. Yeah, you're right. This is a long-term plan. You know, old low-down ass Al Gore, the father of climate change originally. This is the dude right here. The one that's also been on the island. You know what I'm talking about. No surprise there. This is the vice president to Clinton, Al Gore. And then a lot of us was upset when he didn't win and Bush got in there, right? Junior. Al, supposed to be squeaky clean Gore. Now we see what he been up to. Because if a person ain't got no scrutiny like this dude, that's the guy you got to watch. They did the same thing with Obama. Oh, he ran a perfect campaign, perfect presidency and all this. I'd like to say to all my fellow constituents, hello, Chicago. You know, this guy, hello, Chicago. You know how he talked through his nose, right? Michelle, Hillary, the Obama thing, the Obama syndrome, Don't catch the Obama syndrome because you may sound like him after a while, I am not going to allow myself to be lied to the American people. That's a bunch of bull, man, What the, oh, hell no. No, we don't need that, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. She'll make this more like a comedy show, if anything, though, Should. Oh, my goodness. Joe Mama says, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Yeah. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Yeah. But you don't even have, with the with the ACA, you don't even have the choice of that, do you? It's all being dictated, right? Right, in the Obama voice, yeah. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Here it is. And then I gotta do it. Yeah, it sound better, right? You're right, Joe Mama. Yep, you're right. Can I come down there? Yeah. For change? Yeah. Obama voice, boy, I tell you though, man. That's what I say though, man. Boy, I tell you though, smoothest con man. He's like a silk, a snake sales or salesman, man. Obama, boy, smooth with it. Obama could lie right in front of your face. He made Obamacare sound like, Obama made Obamacare, y'all, man. He made Obamacare so good. Yeah, we're gonna all have affordable care. He made it sound good, man. I'm like, what the? You gotta laugh what you read along with that one, Joe Mama. I may as well use a soundbite, But yeah, that's exactly what it is, man. This guy here was smooth as silk. Obama, it was like he couldn't do nothing wrong. Had the voice of the people back then. Yeah, man. It was like one of those things. Yeah. It's just really funny. But yeah, man, we talked about what else is going on in the news too, you guys, because we already talked about the ACA subsidies that the Democrats, along with these old low-down Republicans that I show, the rhinos that I have showed you guys, which they're going to be voted out of there. If anything, people that vote for Trump, MAGA included, you guys know what to do now. I put that up in there for those names. All of them got to be primaried out. Just how it is. If we can get as many of these rhinos out of there, one of them stepped down, right? Said he wasn't running again. The one that supposed to be actually, what was he? He actually doing the impeachment. that guy, right? Whatever his name is. Not that it's really irrelevant, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is what it is. I guess he figured, shit, I'm not gonna rerun. I might as well go ahead on and vote him out. I mean, then also you got Al the Werewolf Green out of Texas, right? The congressman out of Texas, man. Don't he look like the werewolf at that cane? At his age, got that long ass ponytail, knowing damn well he need to go ahead and cut that. You know, looking like a damn werewolf, you know. You know what I'm saying? If I had the werewolf sound bite though, y'all know I would use it in the New York Minute though, you know. I sure would. But yeah, man, that's yeah, what the oh man. Oh man. So Nebraska plans to be the first state to implement Trump's new Medicaid work requirements, right? Nebraska plans to be the first, right? Implementing the work requirements for Medicaid recipients, right? Mandated in the one big beautiful bill, right? Able-bodied adults from the age of 19 to 64 will be receiving Medicaid expansion coverage, right? Must work 80 hours a month or participate in approved programs, right? Exemptions apply to certain groups like pregnant women, disabled individuals, right? As well as caregivers. That makes sense. Common sense policies for a common sense country, right? Which we're going back to. What do you guys think about that? You know, I have heard this though, but this is one of the things that's going to kick in on that big, beautiful bill. Boy, that big, beautiful bill, right? When this stuff started kicking in. Let me see here. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Joe Mama says, let me see here. I ought to sing. All right, it ought to send. Okay, it ought to send to be. Okay, he already seems to be able to do a slick Willie. I can't do, man. Okay. I mean that's the best I can try to do with old slick Willie, man. I can try to. I did not. You know how he sound like he always tired. You know, Bill Clinton. I'm gonna have to work on that one. Yeah. So Kirk has. I'm sorry. Omega has to say, 2012. I paid $250 per month for insurance in 2013, right? ACA, same plan, $395. Forced me to pay coverage that I did not need. Yeah, they force you. They force you. Not only that Obamacare or ACA, they're going to force you. Same thing. This is a dictatorship, right? This is nothing but commie stuff. Howard says, I need to clarify. Most farms are family owned, but corporation farms generate the most income. Are you right about that? Yeah, you're right. So many farms are being squeezed out purposely. I'm gonna put that purposely in there. Squeezed out by more production from the cooperative or the corporate. What's that? Cooperatives, and they suck aid first. Yeah. Yeah. Is it supposed to be yeah. Yeah, from corporate okay, from production from the cooperative, and they suck at the old first. Okay, the aid first, I mean. Yeah, aid first. Yeah, that's the thing about it though, man. You know, these family owned being squeezed out, man. No wonder. Purposely done. Purposely done. So we can just be able to deal with you know, the big ones. Was it Tyson and you know, what's it, K-Gale or whatever, Purdue, you know? Yep. Yeah, it's something else. I tell you, you know, it's something else. Something else though, gentlemen. And sometimes I get some females in here. That's why I just usually say ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, man, this is what's going on around the world with Nebraska. That's going to be one of the first with regards to the Medicaid works requirements and stuff. And it's being implemented out and stuff. Did you already hear that everybody that was on SNAP all got kicked off? They got to reapply as they should, you know? because you got to be out here working. If you're able-bodied, you can sit over here and play games and be a gamer in a computer chair. Your ass can be out here working. And nothing like a hard day's work for a hard day's pay. That's what I'm talking about. We got to bring back those work ethics. And instead of all this gaming stuff, boy, they spend like a lot of time on these video games getting fat, sloppy, and lazy. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Must be nice. I wouldn't even want to. If even I had it going on, I wouldn't want to do that. You know, sitting in these gaming chairs. You know, those gaming chairs is about $100. They're about $100, man. That's the thing about it. These gaming chairs and stuff like that. And then did y'all hear that they also trying to sue Trump over this EV thing? The EV thing, all right? We're talking about the EVs and all that stuff that Trump stopped that mandate, stopped that push. That was another whole thing with the Dems, right? Forcing Americans to buy EV and trying to phase out the gasoline engine. If these people are the enemies of America, I don't know who is. I do not know who is, ladies and gentlemen. This is something else, y'all. Yeah, Howard says the bottom line is family farms are dying dying on the farm, or farms are dying on the fun. Okay, I'm assuming that says fun. No, that was a misspell of I believe. Howard says the bottom line, U.S. family farms are dying on the vine. That's what that makes sense. Dying on the vine. Yep, exactly. I get it. Dying on the vine, man. So yeah, this is what it is though, man. I mean, right now we got great pushback, you know, and if we don't get this control of this House and Senate, it's gonna be really, really tougher, you know, because like I said on the live few days ago, the Dems, right, and with these disruptors that they have put on these a lot of these social media channels, right, where they're spin news, they are basically, besides the spin news, they're also are talking real I guess in other words, the great pushback, you know, as far as what Trump is not doing, how he lied to the American people, how he don't have the economy right now. And they're practically celebrating. They're saying 39% Trump has fallen, but MAGA is still strong. It's about 70% versus, 79 to 74%, according to their polls. Every now and then I look at this type of stuff. So they really are trying to divide MAGA, just like they were the seditious six trying to divide the military. They know that they have to take the House and the Senate, and it's not going to be a good thing in this country if they succeed, right? It's not going to be a good thing. Now, I know that Trump got some things, that got some contingency plans in case if that does happen or whatever. I still say that he still holds the leverage. They don't. So this is not a panicking. I'm not a panic mode panicking, but I'm just saying it's imperative that we get out and vote, because like it is though, there's nobody else out there that is doing so much of what Trump has been doing. That's a fact, you know. Yeah, so we have here, Omega says Ford canceled the future production of EVs because of state law volumes. Look it up. I think they are keeping the E-Mustang. That is their best, one of their best sellers besides that F-150 truck. But that is it. Okay, I got you. I'm gonna take your word for it, Omega, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't like Trump said that people can't buy EVs. We're gonna always have them around, but again, nobody has a right to be able to say, yeah, we're gonna go push everybody to EVs and all this other stuff, which is nonsense, right? You are infringing on my constitutional right again, Dems. When would you ever learn? Yeah, we are going back to a constitutional republic, whether you like it or not. versus a constitutional democracy. We're going to a republic the way it should have been, right? That's exactly what is up. That's where we're headed. We're heading back in that direction, right? Yeah, so Omega says they want it because of the EV Yeah, the EVs and things like that. I'm not a huge fan of them. I had one of my passengers in the car, Omega, yesterday, right? He has a Tesla. He has the first one that came out, which is the Model S. Nice looking car. Not the plaid, but he has the dual motor, which I have driven the dual motor before. I rented it out, driven it. And for the most part of it, it drove nice. He swears by it. He got it was an old Indian dude, right? He got it back in 2018. So he was able to have that autonomous app that they were giving out back then, right? Because he ain't gonna pay no $3,000. He gonna tell me, oh yeah, they went down in price. They went down in price. Now it's $2,000. Knowing darn well I'm not gonna pay $2,000 for a remote app. But he swears by it though. You guys, he swears by that app. I guess so. He didn't pay for it. Came in it when he bought the car back in 2018. But he uses it. He said he drove all the way from Detroit to Chicago, and it does all the turns. I mean, it does all the turn signals, braking, all that stuff. I said, you were that comfortable to drive like that? He said, oh, yes, it's a good thing. It's a very good car. I highly suggested. So that's what he was saying. I've driven a Tesla before. Let me see here. Howard says, getting back on the other importance of hand. Let me see here. Howard, yeah, so let me see. Yeah, Kurt, I'm sorry. Keep calling you that. Damn it. So Omega says they want it because the EVs can be remotely shut off, right? Exactly. By the NSA backdoor. That makes a lot of sense. I know there had been another reason in regards to pushing that EV. Yep, you're right about that though, Omega. Howard, term limit. Watch Hitler can't run again, right? To my Gretchen Hitler. Yep. Big butt Hitler, Howard says, yes. He says, Omega, that's a problem. Yeah, and it is a problem too, man. It's a problem. Yep. So ratchet Hitler, I know, right? Ratchet big butt Hitler can't run again. And he's right. Yeah, he's right, because look at what she have done to Michigan, And yeah, this is another thing, man. It's looking like who's the person? Oh yeah. So Omega, what you think about John James? I heard he was out leading. He can pretty much I think he's like out in the forefront for Michigan. I heard he was over Mike Duggan running, because Mike Duggan is running as a moderate, and you have John James that's running as a Republican, right? So yeah, so Howard said, okay. Howard says term limits. Okay, he said that, right? Okay. Howard also says, yes, that's a problem. Yeah, okay, nobody said anything. Okay, just want to make sure. One of the few channels that read everybody message. I know some of the people don't even read it, Omega says, yeah, Duggan is technically in the lead. Oh, is he? Technically. Okay. It's going to be tight, though, man. It's going to be tight. Go Team Michigan. We need you. Yeah, that's right, though, man. We need you. You right about that, though, Howard. I would like to see John James in there, though. John James, Yeah, I saw him at one of the Trump rallies and stuff like that. John James, he's running as the governor of Michigan. Would that make him the first black governor too? Because I don't think Michigan ever had a black governor. That is I guess he will be the first. Yep, John James. Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, so Trump likes him, right? Yeah, okay. I figured that because I don't think we ever had a black governor. Yeah, yeah, I know, right? Mm-hmm. As long as John James though don't do the Sherrod Moore thing though, we'll be all right though. We'll be. I couldn't help it. I'm sorry though, man. I'm sorry, man. I didn't want to do him like that. Don't do John James like that, like Sherrod Moore. Don't do it. Don't do it, Tony. Do not do that, man. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, man. So we are having fun here, man. I think I'm gonna keep this slot time because it works out for everybody. Omega coming back to Michigan right now, with his big load. Go John. Yep. Go John James. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be voting for John James, Exactly. John James. Yep. For governor. It sounds good. Who is your governor? John James. Well, I would love to play some presidential music, but they hit me with a copyright strike. They already got me once. Yeah. Okay, Gilchrist is the only black Democrat Republican have more black candidates, right? Chief Craig is running again as a Republican. Yeah, that's the thing about it, though. Yeah, I heard about Chief Craig, too. He's running as a Republican, though, man. Yeah, I'm going to stay hopeful about that, though, man. If Chief Craig, it's going to be tough, man, because you got to get past the 92% black women to get on board with that thing. That right there is going to be a hurdle in itself, man. It's going to be a hurdle in itself, man. But I'm gonna be positive and be optimistic and all that other stuff, Yep. Howard says, I finished chores at 3. My relaxed time, okay, tolls my wife feed me. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So your chores are finished though, man. That's a beautiful thing. Being out there on that farm, churning the butter, and things like that, tilling the land, getting down in there with that green thumb and stuff like that, getting on that big John Deere tractor, John Deere, getting on that tractor and everything like that. And yeah, man, harvest time and all that, the harvest moon. Yeah. And the thing about it, the Amish people are still practicing that same thing for the most part of it, with some upgrades, But yeah, that's a beautiful thing. I need to get some Amish people on here. Probably not because it's technology based. Yeah. But what about the Mennonites? I can get some Mennonites to roll with me. Man, Mennonites that's nothing more than reform Amish people anyway. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yep, that would be cool. Yeah, you gotta love them coming in here spamming, right? Yeah, it's Steam. He always that bot knows what to do. Steam Boo. This is a bot. Hey bot, how you doing, bot? Yeah, this is coming from Twitch. Yeah, the Steam bot. Howard says wintertime repair season. Fix stuff up. Crop in the bin. Okay. Yeah, y'all got that hay baling thing. How y'all get that hay and things like that, man. I know I talked about that too. Yeah, a lot of farmers, man, that rock with me, and truckers, farmers, ex-military people. Boy, you guys make up America, man. It's a beautiful thing, though, man. I would love to play the Star Spangled Banner, man. I got hit last time. It was a minor infraction, wasn't a major one, but yeah, I was able to pass it. I was able to get it to go through before, man. They are on my channel. They are on my case. They watching everything I do now. I feel so restricted. That's why you guys got to go over there to Rumble, I got to spam Rumble again. So get a chance, get some time, go over there on Rumble. You guys like my new introductory thing with the animated mic going on and stuff and getting a little jazzy now, right? Getting a little jazzy. Channel's starting to become better, man. I remember those days when I was just doing it straight off of the cell phone, man, saying a little bit of everything. But it's time, like I said, I'm going to start going with more of a format and a time and stuff. And I just like talking with you guys too, man. This is real cool. I mean, we can talk about the news. We can talk about a lot of other things, but, it's all good, though, And many of you guys that follow me for a while, though, man, I remember the early days, man. I was outlandish for real. I was saying a little bit of everything with my frustration and stuff like that. But I used to play that American anthem and all that. Because when you don't really have that many subscribers, man, you get away from some stuff. But now that YouTube has changed a lot of the algorithm stuff, whatever. So yeah, but yeah, man. But yeah, the other guy that was in here that left, he found my channel organically and subscribed. So I guess that since I started scheduling it out, it looked like the algorithms kind of pushed my channel back up. So you know what I'm saying? So I think that's what it is. Because you notice I didn't have anything down there with Trump or any of that kind of stuff. MAGA. Man, they were on me. You guys remember they were on me, man. Yeah, they was on me. But I appreciate you guys, though, man. I'm one of the few channels that read everybody's comments and stuff like that, And don't you hate going to a channel and they just ignore your comments? It's kind of hard to get it when I get a lot of people, man. And man, that thing be scrolling. And I know I can slow it down, but man, woo, man. But yeah, man, But that's why I had to make y'all mods, man, because yeah. Yeah, but other than that, though, yeah, so I'm working on some other things. I'm actually working on that Discord server too. I started to attempt to start working on that, but that's where we're going to be hanging out at on the Discord server over there too. So we can really be able to have after the live is down, we can hang out over there on the Discord and things like that once I get that finished. Howard says, people like me and you are what American men are meant to be. All right. Done pure work, raise a good family, and bless the Lord for it. You're absolutely right about that, Howard, because I want to see us win. And so far we are out in front. This is a great country. America is a beautiful country. It's no other country in the world is like America. That's for real though, man. When we really start looking at it, we don't have another country like this. This is a country where we have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of the press, and all this other stuff. We talking about the Second Amendment, gun rights. I just thought about this a while back though. We really don't have another country in the world where you're allowed to have a gun. Look at what's happening in the UK and Australia and these other places, right? And then now that they had the gunman over in Australia, I covered that story. I think it was yesterday or so, but you see what's happening. Now they're talking about doubling down and making it more stringent, more strict, So therefore, man, guns are a great negotiator. It's a power equalizer too. Man that got the gun, got the power, right? Be able to protect ourselves at the same time as well, right? Yeah, so Omega says Israel, Switzerland, and Norway. Okay. So in Switzerland, in Norway though, Omega, they're allowed to carry a gun over there? I'm not even talking about army, I'm talking about their citizens. Because Switzerland don't even have a standing army. But or do they? I don't think Switzerland does. Norway, Scandinavian countries. I know Israel, though. Israel ain't gonna play that though, right? Oh yeah, and that's another thing, man. Kirk, okay? Let me see. I'm gonna keep going. Damn it. So Omega says, the commissary military, compulsory military service is all three. Okay, I did not know. Okay. Yeah, we've been talking about Candace Owens. At least I've been talking about it earlier today too. I've been talking about her yesterday. I kind of went in on her the other day and yesterday with this type of narcissistic. She doesn't work well with others at all. If you start following the organizations that she was associated with and how it's just funny, and we can talk about it again because she has been a great disruptor regards to the rhetoric that she's been, um, over here spitting out, the rhetoric and things. She's been doing, she have been able to pull away some MAGA followers. I got a friend of mine that's got caught up in that nonsense, right? Her personal attacks and escalations in feuds, right? She loved the feud, right? Like right now with this, with what's her name, Erica Kirk. This is a thing right now that's going on, and I got to talk about it again. Now, in my opinion, Erica Kirk, she's not like Charlie. I mean, even though she's the wife, but they made her the chairperson, the president. I really think that I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna double down on this. I really think that she should not be out on the forefront like this because she's not a debater, and that's fair, But someone, and I'm gonna ask you guys this: what's the guy that received a lot of money? Tyler Boyer, yeah, with him. And Candace talked about his wife as being a swinger, right? And responded to his divorce jab, right? And I'm not saying, how do you know this, right? I mean, Candace Owens have said some outlandish stuff, The manipulation and the lack of accountability, that sounds like Candace, right? Where she uses emotional rhetoric, like I said yesterday, right? Omitting context, right? Weaponizing motherhood, pregnancy, so therefore it can deflect responsibility, right? I still say this, that she is more of a controlled opposition, right? Her narcissistic, right? That's why I look at her as that as well. Yeah. These are the things that's going on with Candace once again. She supports or argues her directness in principle, truth telling against the powerful interests, right? Remember how she bit the hand of Trump? Said that Trump was bought by Israel and he's a shield and everything. He sends all type of money. And I got a buddy right now, man. He still believes in this nonsense. As I said yesterday, man, it's like she's like the biggest thing right now, right? Talking about Candace. She's the biggest thing right now. Because there's a lot of people that have followed her. They believe in the rhetoric. They believe in this stuff, And yeah, man, it's this is the thing. I'm saying this. She rarely apologizes, but she always doubles down and frame criticism as what? I mean, she does this stuff, man. She does this stuff. Right? And I mean, some people have really called her straight outright, man, heartless, a grifter, right? She's compared, I always said it, she's compared to Alex Jones. And if we were to go back into her history, when where one time, you even had people like Tommy Lauren, Tim Pool, that work with her. The question would have been, when way back in the early days with Turning Point, when Candace and Charlie Kirk was over there debating the student stuff. Whatever happened with that? This is one thing. Do you guys know what happened? Why she left Turning Point? I'm sure she probably had her reasons as to why. But do y'all know the reason why Candace left Turning Point? Let me read what you have to say, and then we'll go on there. Let me see here. Yeah, so Omega says, Norway, all right, you keep your rifle from the military. Same with Switzerland. I did not know that. Yeah, Omega says, you are probably thinking of Sweden. Yeah, there you go. I was. Howard says Norway loves weapons. They have small professional army. They are really good, but the citizen soldier is mandatory in their primary strength. Did not know that either. I'm always learning something. I'm always learning something. So we have a few countries out there that are left. It seems to be the Western world for sure, because we know anywhere else they don't have that at all. In Asian countries, you can forget about it. You can forget about that. Yeah. Yeah. So Mega says Israel derangement, right? Charlie had small Israel connections. She pissed them off. She really did. I mean, the guy that I introduced you to, man, he loves Candace, man, and he believes it. I ain't trying to change somebody's mind. That's his. We got in a heated debate a few days ago, as I mentioned before, but he said how I got my head all up in so and so's ass where I can't see the forest before the trees. I want to say, contrary to that he's the one that's all up in Candace's ass so far that he can't see the forest before the trees. Because I make some very, very good, strong points about Candace. Everybody that she have ever worked with, she does not have a relations with them or the organizations no more. If it doesn't bleed, it doesn't read. And this is exactly what her MO is, right? Because you look at the clicks, you look at this, the CPM and all the rest of this stuff. You look at all this stuff, who's making money, right? These advertisers that advertise on spaces like YouTube and all this stuff, who's making the money? I mean, $20 to $50 per CPM or whatever. I mean, who's making the money? It goes up higher than that, especially with Candace. I hope Candace has her heart in the right place. I want her to have her heart in the right place. But she's looking and smelling more like a grifter, like Alex Jones. That's what it's looking like. Because the more outlandish-ish and drama, when she gets into these spats with people, that's when the money starts coming in even more. We can't deny that. Controversy, she's like the center of controversy. We're talking about King of the Hill action with Candace. What? You know what I'm saying? This appears to be narcissism, because it's mighty funny that everybody that work with her don't work. They don't. I mean, I'm not even a big fan of Ben Shapiro. You know what I'm saying? Worst one was Omega says the worst one was Dennis Prager. Yeah, but he isn't down with the drama. Exactly. She get on Piers Morgan show. It's gonna be drama there. Everywhere is drama around her. Controversy. And it's just sad that people follow her. They follow Nick Fuentes. Oh my goodness. What the? They over here following Nick Fuentes, man. Oh, hell no. Man, are you kidding me? So, like I always ask, where did these people come from? Where did they come from? Nick Fuentes happened to know Kanye, introduced him to Trump. He got major, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Kanye West. Man, I've been listening to Kanye for a while, right? I don't run into Kanye West. I mean, that's why I say, man, this stuff here, man, it's amazing to me, man. It's amazing. This stuff is amazing, ladies and gentlemen, or gentlemen. You begin to wonder, man, like these people, because it does seem like some type of psyop, or go further, controlled opposition. But she doesn't You know what I'm saying? This is the thing. And like I said before, man, this is something else, man. Yeah. So Omega says Alex Jones isn't as much of a grifter as he is more of a KF. Uh, let me see, a tinfoil magnet. Yeah, but he is right more often than Candace. Yeah. And we also have the other dude from the Young Turks. Alex is more fringe than a grifter. Yeah. I remember, and I'm gonna say this again, I never forgot this. I remember the days with Bill Cooper when he wrote that book, Behold a Pale Horse. And he been here to Michigan. We used to talk to a lot of the militia groups up north in Michigan. But he made a statement a while ago. He said that Alex Jones is basically a plant and an informant. And now he said that years ago, you know. And I remember watching because I used to watch I never watched Bill Cooper shows in his it was called what was the show called? It was called something of the hour, it was something the shock of the hour, something like that. And they used to come on in prime time where they had thousands of marching soldiers and all that stuff. Now this is going back, man. But Bill Cooper was about that life, man, for real, for real. But he been exposed to Alex Jones. That's why I stopped following him. Because who gets up in Bohemian Grove, right, and does this thing? So I knew that was suspect, and there's some other things. Because Alex Jones definitely been fed by the controlled opposition. That's what they do. They feed him information. That's why a lot of his times, most of his information is usually spot on. It's stuff that they want you to know about. They want you to know about this stuff. And then he's also been guilty of being a fear mongerer too. Because the way I used to listen to Alex Jones, man, I know who he is, man, out of Texas. Man, Alex Jones will have your ass so damn worried, you be thinking that that the feds are gonna be coming in for you, man. I mean, damn, Howard says Alex reminds of a badass Rush Limbaugh, Yeah, I remember Rush, out of Florida, Rush, you know. Yeah, man. So that's the thing about that. People that following her, they're gonna find out though. It's gonna, time is gonna reveal all things, as they say. I don't hate Candace. I just don't approve of the things that she's doing and how she's going by doing it. Because that means that whatever the reason, she gave her reasons as to what the Trump thing, though, right? She gave her reasons as to why, because she thought that Trump was being, that Trump was being controlled by Nelson Yahoo. She made that outlandish statement as well, too. She said a lot of other things. But she said that about Trump. She said she criticized the Iran thing, talked about the Palestinians, and she accused Trump of giving weaponry and funding over there to Israel. She said a lot of stuff. Yep. I remember all that stuff. So yeah, that's the thing about it. So that's why, I don't follow her. I don't listen to her anymore regards to that. But yeah, it's just pretty sad. It was pretty sad because, yeah, it's pretty sad. Yeah. I remember Omega told me about Candace Owens, man, because I remember I was rah. You mega know, man. I even did a whole thing about Candace, man. Conservative and all the rest of this stuff, man. Yeah, man. I think I was fooled. And I could be wrong, but I'm seeing things about her I don't like. I really do. Because if Candace can have any of these people that I mentioned that she could still be working with and have a relationship, that's what normal people do. Normal people have a relationship with people. How do you alienate all these people and then at the same time, everybody ain't ish, but you the only person. You know what they say? When you blaming, there's three fingers pointing back at you. When you start blaming somebody, there's always three fingers pointing back at you. And that's what's happening with Candace now. She got many fingers that are pointing back to Candace. Because we don't have a working, you don't see her with a working history of working along with others. There's other people say how she have this superiority complex, this narcissistic, it got to be my way. You know how she talks. She talks like a school teacher that's about to scold you, you know. I couldn't put up with that from a woman I'm married. I couldn't deal with that one time. I can deal with it. Let me see here. Howard says she will bring Trump point down. Yeah, people aren't drawn to the drama for the most part. You're absolutely right about that, Howard. Yeah. Omega says that's stupid because Congress sells weapons and not the president. Yeah, exactly. But it is. But that's the thing about it. My friend that you met, Omega, he swears up and down that America is still giving weaponry for free, as well as humanitarian aid. And I pulled it up. I researched it. It's not true. They've been buying it. They say, oh, and that's the thing about it. Now, if you are already a Jewish conspiracy person and the hatred, we're not trying to say that Israel is perfect about everything as well. But for the most part of it, they have a stockpile of nuclear capability. They got that Iron Dome over there as well. They got a lot of technology over there. So it ain't, like I told them, it ain't a damn thing you're going to be able to do about it. It ain't a damn thing you're going to be able to do about Israel. They have the strongest lobbyists in the world. And you think that you're going to be over here. I told them, man, you got to be careful with that stuff. But yeah, they all in their cave talking all this stuff. Nobody trying to say ain't no country, no nation perfect. But I just find it mighty, mighty funny how she don't work well with others. That's big. She plays like the king or the queen of the mountaintop. She plays the king of the hill. There's nobody better than Candace. Thou should not speak but Candace. I am woman, hear me roar. My number's too big to be ignored. This is what's going on here. Right? Mega says, when everyone you go, you smell like ish. Check the bottom of your shoes. Exactly. Point well taken, Omega. This is exactly what it is with Candace. She can't even smell the ish coming from her own shoe. And we know that ish smells like ish. You can't ignore it. People over here fanning their face or whatever. And she got a nice little following. You have grown since one. She is the disruptor, controlled opposition. And that's my opinion of it. Unless she proves otherwise. Because when she turned against MAGA, that said a whole lot. And I think that she was, like Omega always said, she was never a conservative. Remember, she hated Trump in the beginning. I had to go back and look at some of her early stuff. She didn't like Trump. She didn't like conservative people. She's a liberal through and through. But she had a game plan. And I don't think she was working alone. She never had no ambition in being MAGA. She even said, I hated the fact that I helped this man become president. She said that MAGA, right? They instead of staying the course, America first, she was the one that said how Trump, right? He was the one that reneged, deviated from the mission. And we can see This Trump here got so much hatred. The stuff that he's doing, the moves that he's been making, the Abraham Accords over in the Middle East and so forth, stopping wars and everything. She don't understand the bigger picture. This is not just America. He's going after the deep state all over the world. And if you were smart enough, in her case, it ain't about that. It's about aligning herself with the establishment. That's why if this thing ever comes out, that's what I'm saying. If it ever comes out, probably not, but if it ever comes out, because she's no different than David Pacman and all these other people, right? She's no different. David Pacman got all that. He got that dark money, and he ain't the only one that did a whole thing about that. Of the people that was involved with getting all that money, up to $8,000 a month, just to spit out propaganda and confusion, provocateurs and saboteurs. This is exactly what's going on. She's no different. What's the difference between her and the rest of these content creators and many of these other ones? Your Santana Jones and all the rest of them, right? I personally think that these people, it's already came out that a lot of them are being paid. I even believe that Santana Jones is being paid by the deep state establishment. The facts. Howard says, Omega, we're trying to avoid being San Fran. Yeah. San Fran. Yeah. But yeah, man. So every chance I get, I talk about her. I talk about a lot of these other disruptors that they have taken the money. You know what I'm saying? I just find it very funny. Look at how Tucker Carlson been moving. You said that he's supposed to be the heir of the Swanson thing. I know he's the heir when you told me about that. That he's the heir of the Swanson family, you know what I'm saying, and all this other stuff. He's already come from the background, his family legacy, which is the Swanson dinners and all this other stuff. Now you heard what he said, that he's thinking about buying a house over there in Qatar. Went on an attack when somebody asked him, why Qatar? Oh, I can do whatever I want. I'm American. Who says that I can't? He went on this like defensive. I'm talking about Tucker Carlson. He went on the defensive. We just asking a question. Like you asking him somebody, like if somebody was going to buy a house in California. It's weird for me to say, oh, I'm American. I can do whatever I want. I can buy whatever I want. Nobody does that unless he just sounded guilty. I'm talking about Tucker. He sounded guilty. What has Tucker lied on? No, he didn't. I'm just saying like, I know that, what's her name? Laura Loomer, I think it was. She was calling Tucker Carlson out for being controlled ops. Now, it hasn't been confirmed. You know what I'm saying? But she called him out. And it was when he was on, I think he was being interviewed last week on somebody's show. But I just remember listening to a little bit of it, how Tucker said that he was going to be buying a house over there in Qatar. No problem at all. He's rich enough, he can do that. But the way that he said it, it was like in defense. Like, what did he say? I'm an American. We have a right. We have the freedom of bear. He went into all this rant about that. And the lady didn't accuse him of anything. She just asked, why are you buying a house over there in Qatar? That was just a quick question, as if I was buying a house in California. I said, why are you going to do over in California? Joe Mama said, what did Donald say about Qatar? I don't know what Donald said about Qatar. I was talking about Tucker, though, about him buying a house over there. You know what I'm saying? I didn't follow that about Donald. You more welcome to elaborate, Joe Mama, about it. Did you hear the executive order? No, I did not. I didn't get to that part yet. Nope, I sure did not. About Qatar, only thing I still know about Qatar is a few things. When we got the plane, right? America got the plane, gift by Qatar, right? I do know about that and how they were trained over here and all that stuff. But that's about all that I know about Qatar, you know. But you're more welcome to share with us, though. Do tell. Oh yeah, Howard said Tucker's done. Tucker Don or Tucker, yeah. Doesn't he have a brother named Bucky? What we call that? Oh, Bucky. Oh man. Joe Mama says Trump called Qatar our best ally in the Middle East. Some other countries lost that status. Yeah, it kind of makes sense though, because Qatar, I mean, just like with the prince over there in Saudi Arabia and all that. Because I remember watching that. I watched the documentary. It's called The Greatest Show on Earth. I forgot the guy that produced that. But when Trump did his capitulation tour, a lot of these countries set up and made deals with Trump, right? Yeah, Qatar works on gold. Yeah. And the thing about it is that it's about time that these countries, I mean, we have to work along. We need more allies, especially in the Middle East. So if that is what's going on, Jemima, you know I'm gonna believe you now, you know. You ain't never steered me wrong with your information. So but it kind of makes sense though. You know? It kind of makes sense. Qatar works on gold. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Because that's the thing though, too. All these countries that Trump has already been making deals with and so forth, and making sure they have their own sovereignty, versus under the old guards, they didn't have sovereignty. All this state-funded terrorists and all this other nonsense, this stuff should have been cleaned up, but it did not. That I do know. You know, this is why the Abraham Accords was created to better get everybody and not ceasefires. We're talking about peace in the Middle East, right? Satan Yahoo crossed the line, bombing Hamas representatives trying to make peace plans. Yeah, Satan Yahoo. Yeah. I did not know that, Joe Mama. Howard says they have machines that will split gold for fiat currency. I did not know that either. I'm gonna have to look into this. I'm gonna have to look into that for sure. I'm gonna have to look into it. I'm gonna have to look into that though, you know, Howard. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let me see, cross the line, bombing Hamas representative. So yeah. Mm-hmm. The problem is Hamas. It's not the Palestinian people, but for the left trying to push it, like the people that are Palestinian, innocent Palestinians are being hurt. Isn't it Hamas that have these, a lot of these terrorist cells within the people, hiding amongst the people over there in Palestine, Lebanon, and some of these other areas, right? I mean, this is the stuff that's not really being told about enough. But they're going to push the narratives to make it look like, you know, they've been over there bombing and all this stuff. This is stuff that Candace was running with. She ain't the only one, but a lot of them. Oh, how Trump's ratings have been slipping. It's 39%. But amongst the Republicans, so let them tell it, it's like 70%. Oh, it dropped down from, he was much higher and everything like that. And he's being dinged on the economy right now. And, you know, and some would say about the roundup of these illegal aliens and how they're being mishandled and treated and all this other stuff. Joe Mama says, look at Gaza 2 years ago and look at it now, right? The Gazans didn't do October 7th. You know, the Gazarians didn't do October 7th. Yeah, look at it. Look at it then and look at it now. The first time, this is all history. Before it was war torn, being bombs, you couldn't even go over there, man. It was just decimated, rubble and ruin. You know, rubble and ruin. Missiles are being fired off, rockets and all the rest of this stuff. And they want to sit up here and say, "Oh yeah, he's a Jewish shield." Trump have always been pro-Israel in the first place. This is nothing new. He's always been pro-Israel. You know? Yeah. This is nothing new. But what he's been doing and getting Nelson Yahoo, man, he did a lot of bad things though too. But I think with Trump that he's been able to get Nelson Yahoo to work with him, to pardon him and stuff like that. Because he did there's a lot of war crimes and stuff that Nelson Yahoo did. You know, a lot of people are not really a big fan of Nelson Yahoo at all. And I get it. But what's the alternative? You know, if he can get him to play nicey nice, we need to have some stabilization in the Middle East. We need to have something instead of, because right now it's been destabilized for so long. It really has. How we want it. No place is going to be an island, for sure. But but other than that though, man, I appreciate you guys coming on today. You know what I'm saying? It's been good. I think we're going to start running this around the 3 p.m. hour, talking about this 3:30 or at the most right by 3:30. You know, you guys have been real good today, man. We've been really, really talking a lot about some stuff. Yeah, we talked about this mass deportation. We talked about this Affordable Care Act scam that the Democrats and the low down ass rhino Republicans and stuff. And these people, as I'm posted right here, we got to go ahead on and just primary them. We got to primary them. We got to get them out of here. Because they don't mean us no good. And anytime you want to side with a big corporation, big people, because they're getting paid too from this. That's why we already know this is one of the main reasons why they want to sign off on this stuff. Because when you're too busy on the receiving end of it, it makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. No wonder. So we're going to remember these names that I put up here. These are the rhino Republican representatives, right? You killing it, man. Hope you grow. Yeah, I appreciate it, Howard. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, though, man. I got some pretty heavy hitters in this room, though, man. And when I mess up, they be sure. And that's what I want, too. Because if I'm in the error with something, they be sure to let me know. That's things about it, man. So I said, well, I'm going to do a little bit more information and look into these things. Try to steer away from stuff that I really don't know. Stuff that I'm more in my wheelhouse, but other things. That's why I got Ground News. I'm not sponsored by it, Howard, but I pay for the subscription service. But it allowed me to see who's left leaning, who's in the middle, and who's on the right. And therefore I can basically see, and I can, and most of the time I usually get the center news, or if I can't get it, then I look at on the right. I deal with the right, but I can't tolerate the left. Can't tolerate it, man. But I appreciate that. That's a big compliment, man. You killing it, man. I hope you grow, man. Yeah, I'm trying to, man. I made some mistakes. Being shadowed and being everything, on some of the things. And I remember when it happened, because I had a lot of bots in here. Howard, I used to have a lot of viewers in this room every now and then, man. They would come in here and I had those bots, man. I was calling them all out. And they knew I got wind to them, man, what was going on. Because they will send bots in here, trolls in here. They'll send them anybody that is a Trump supporter. They come in here being disruptive. Right now, it looked like, okay, because I had to make some changes, move my content on Rumble. And right now, I probably got more people on Rumble right now that's been rocking it out though, you know. That's the thing about it. But and I appreciate the people that are on Rumble. Right now I got more people it look like on YouTube than I have on Rumble right now. I think, let me see here. Yeah, 3 people on YouTube right now. Nobody on X. It's gonna take me some time to penetrate X though, because I'm not really hitting in the algorithm over there on X yet. You know, even though I do read X and I make comments and stuff. I got some people that follow me. But yeah, man, I'm basically trying to grow this thing, man, and get more people that are you guys. Like I said, I don't have to have the big views because it's gonna make it a lot more complicated. But you guys, this to me, this is big views for me, you know, regards to this. Because most of the time, man, I just be making content and it turned into a video. But yeah, but I appreciate it. You know, you see my little animation thing that I got going on. Oh man, I said to myself, so I said I'm starting to move up a little bit though, you know. Yeah, you got. Yeah, I think you guys saw it though, you know. I think you saw it, you know. But Howard says they are like demons, but your message overcomes. YouTube will fight you. Yeah, exactly. Because this is important. I live in America too, just like you guys do, man. So we have to make headway for these midterms, man. This is how important it is. We ain't got to agree on everything, but at the same time, get the message out. That's the most important thing. That's the reason why I do it. You know, to be able to stand on something, man. Right? And I see a lot of other content creators on the MAGA side, especially, and a lot of those guys I follow. I rock with them. Dennis on his channel. There's quite a few of them on there. You know what I'm saying? So, um, you know, I rock with those guys. You know, I get on their channels and stuff like that, and you know what I'm saying, because I see they're doing great work. So I said I'm gonna start changing my format around, and now it's like it's been working. Because it's very rare I get a troll. If I last time I got a troll was last week on Twitch, which was interesting because I'm actually I'm doing my stream on Twitch as well. Kick is another one. I very rarely get somebody on Kick, on Twitch, and then on Rumble. You know, so I haven't had anybody to comment on Rumble. But if it ever does come up, you'll see it here in the actual chat and stuff. So yeah, but those guys, Devori, and there's a few other ones over there. What's his name? Something Yates, and there's a Ron Yates, and there's a few other guys. Um, what's his name? A conservative perspective. Those, yeah, they're doing some good stuff. You know, shorts. They attract people. Yeah, I need to start doing more shorts too. And I said I was going to do that. Start back doing some shorts as well. And that's a good idea. I think I will. I am going to do that. You're absolutely right about that, though. Howard, shorts. You know, that is the thing too. Which I have. I did. I even did a short in a while though. But yeah, the shorts is what's happening. Yep, shorts. Yep. Yeah, you're right about that. But yeah, man, you guys have been great on here though, and yeah. I think you guys have saw my my little animation thing there. You know, Howard says I see a lot of our type moving to Rumble. Yeah, man, Howard, Rumble is really the place. That is the house for conservatives. You know, besides X and Truth Social. Yeah, that, as you know, man, that's the place there. If you get some time, man. Oh yeah, you see what's scrolling down below? My Rumble channel is called A Random Mail with double M's. A Random Mail. That's where you can find me on Rumble. That's where I reside on Rumble now, and I'm gonna grow Rumble up. And unlike YouTube, where you got to have 50 subscribers just to be able to go live, all you need on Rumble was 5. And I appreciate you guys, Omega 2, Joe Mama. I appreciate you guys for following me over there, because they've been around for a while though, Omega, at least on my channel and things though. So they always tune in and stuff. So, you know, you stick around, I just have to make you a mod too, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you know. But right now, I mean, I don't get the bots in here very much because they don't report when I go live. But let me ask you this though. I mean, I should have been asking the other guy. I know Howard, you've been on here since No Kings, I do believe. But there was another guy that was here that was new that subscribed to me, and I meant to ask him, how did he see me? But let me ask you guys this. I mean, well, you guys follow me, so it's a little different. But when I go live, though, you guys are actually y'all hit the bell or something. Y'all know when I go live, y'all get the notification, right? Yeah, because that's the thing though. The last that I checked with YouTube, yeah, I didn't get the I'm gonna check right now. Let me see here. I don't know if let me see here. If I go under here and go into live, let me see here. Okay. Euro and Traveler, why he went live. He said big Trump's big announcement. I was reading that. Yeah, I'll listen to his content too. He has some great stuff. Let me see here. Everybody right now is still alive. And these are bigger names than mine, of course, but I don't see anything about me going live. What somebody named God Logic. He has a question: is Islam a cult? Is what he was asking on his title thing. But I've been scrolling down here, gentlemen, and I used to be able to see where I went live at, but yeah, I don't see that anymore. I just every now and then I still check, but like Omega said, once you've been put into the YouTube, just basically put me in a room and lock the door and said we'll just let them be an echo chamber over there and get them out the way, you know. You know. Joe Mama says, let me see. Howard says, I don't have Rumble, but I will look to join. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. That's cool. I get a red dot on my subscription tab. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because I know when you hit the bell, they get the notification stuff, you know, and all that. But yeah, you know, it's like when they see me with I got my avatars, man, with the red cap and the profile of myself wearing the MAGA cap. Yeah, man, it's not a great thing, man. They I tell you, man. Ooh, man, they see red, man. Oh my goodness. That one guy, what's his name? Santana Jones. No, it's another one. Not Santana Jones, it's another dude. He kind of got the curly hair and stuff like that. And he man, I made a comment, man. He blocked me, man. I knew that was gonna happen. And he knows, he picks his battles. I know he picks his battles, man. He gets me right on out of there. Ain't nobody gonna deal with no MAGA red wearing cap. It's bad for business. It's bad for business, you know. Hmm. I try to animate myself too, with my profile, but I noticed the dude didn't look nothing like me, man. It looked like me from the profile, and then I started saying about whatever it had me saying. It wasn't even my voice. It didn't look at me. It looked like me. It just looked really weird, man. I said, I can't use this. That ain't me. Oh man, I'm just gonna do the video myself, man. But yeah, man, we had a great time today, man. I really appreciate y'all. I'm gonna change this from the new morning show into the afternoon show. I'm gonna change it, man. Instead of calling it the morning show, man, I'm gonna have to change that around. Joe Mama says he's on my not recommended list. Okay, right. Yeah, I know Santana Jones probably is though. You know how you get in the algorithm of watching people, they just automatically put them on your timeline, and that tends to happen. But yeah, I don't follow those guys. I just stumbled across those guys. I don't even follow them. But some of them I remember their name, you know. But yeah, those are your paid opposition. Those are your paid influencers, man. You know, they don't give a damn about the country and what they're doing. All they care about is a check. That's what they're looking for. You know, from $250 for the low tier people like Santana Jones, all the way up to what's his name, David Packman. I believe he's getting about $8,000 a month that's being paid by dark money. So he get paid about $8,000, and a few others though. The top tier of your disruptors, yeah, your paid for and controlled opposition. So yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that though too. Paid for controlled opposition. Yeah, Joe Mama says, ain't nobody paying that dumbass. I would like to believe that, Joe Mama, but I believe that I don't yeah, you mean Santana Jones? I would like to believe that he's not being paid. But the low end of them, they get by 250. But I don't think he's not even talented enough. You've been on this thing before, he kicked you out of there, banned you or whatever. But he's not even smart enough for a debate, man, to be honest. The people that he debate with is most of the time people are not really well informed. They just get on there with emotions to have something to say with him. But that's the reason why I don't call the show, because once again, what would be the purpose and the point? Because he controls it. He controls the narrative and all the rest of that stuff. So it's not even having these people are not about asking questions for understanding. It's a I got you moment. We all know this. These are the tactics coming from the left. They always do this. They're very disingenuous. First and foremost, you want to say they want to invite you in on the show. At least one thing about it, I can have a little bit more respect for the handsome liberal with his particular show, because he'll hang the MAGA cap up and say that his show is MAGA friendly. Some of his guests on there are not. But I have respect for handsome liberal, in regards to that, because we don't have to see eye to eye on everything when it comes down to the policies, though. But he tries to be a little bit more tolerant versus people like Santana Jones and all the rest of them. They are less intolerant. You can tell the hatred already coming from the right. Joe Mama says, I heard the streamers getting paid are pro-Israel and DNC is broke. They can't pay streamers anymore. You know what, Joe Mama? I was thinking the same thing, because the DNC is broke. They're in the process of being bankrupt. So you're absolutely right. So what you think it is, though, Joe Mama? I mean, if they're not being paid for a lot of these streamers, but they're still on here, what's the deal with that? What's your opinion on that? And maybe we need to talk have another show. I think this is smelling like another show coming on, ladies and gentlemen. Because man, the DNC is broke. I'm in agreement. There's several sources, reliable sources anyway, that have said that they are broke. It makes a lot of sense, because they don't have access to the USAID. The only people that's probably been, I think Soros is still funding them. Yeah, it don't have to come from the ALC, but Act Blue, I think they still a thing. Because Act Blue, under George Soros and Alex Soros, they got to be funding these people. They're still funding them. It may not be from the DNC, but they are still funding them. That's a good point. Joe Mama said maybe private donations. Some just hate Trump. Absolutely. Because some of the top ones like George Soros, Eric Kessler, and Bill Gates, they can't stand Trump. It makes a lot of sense. They hate Trump. Rupert Murdoch hate Trump, and he's Fox. So if you know what I'm saying, but the ones I'm naming, they definitely hate Trump. And they all have different reasons as to why they hate Trump. But, Joe Mama says the DNC had to get a $15 million. I remember that, though. I remember reading that. they actually had to get 15 million loan. And that probably may have came straight out of the Federal Reserve because they still have access to that too. But once again, it's going to be 15 million plus interest. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They never went in great detail where they got the loan from. But if I was my educated guess, Joe Mama, it sounded like it have came from the Federal Reserve because they're still a thing. Nothing more than a loan sharking operation, but they're still a thing for right now. So it could have been from there or someone, like you said, someone private. Private donations, though. I'm going to go with that one first. Act Blue. Joe Mama says the Federal Reserve had a bad day today. Yeah. You can elaborate on it, though, Joe Mama, though, because I haven't caught up with that of late either. But Trump has been hitting Jerome Too Late Powell pretty heavy, though, man. Yeah. Are they in the process of getting some changeover for us? I know with Jerome Powell, I think they're in the process of getting him removed. Joe Mama says, I've seen that, Joe Mama. I was looking at that. I was telling my brother that, man. The silver, 66.87 for the silver. And gold is, what? What's that? $4,340. What the? Oh, man.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, man. That's a good hell no, by the way. Not a bad hell no. Man. It has been said, Joe Mama, that silver can reach as high as $100 per ounce. Ooh, man, I don't own any gold, man. I missed that opportunity, but I'm still content with silver because they use silver in almost everything: computers, medical equipment, all type of stuff. You know. Joe Mama says, "Hell yeah, yeah, I know, Joe Mama, isn't it, man? Shit." Man, you ain't got to tell me twice, though, Joe Mama. Shoot. I'm over here, looking at this thing, man. Shoot. I say to the deep state.
Bitch ass nickel! Bitch ass nickel! Bitch ass still sound like you want to do something? Bitch ass nickel!
That's one of my favorites right there, man. That's one of my favorites. Man. Yeah, Joe Mama says silver needs to go to 192 to be at the 1980s level, adjusted for inflation. I know that's right, Joe Mama, man. This is what I've been buying. Man, quit cussing. Use the N-word. Yeah, man. Yeah, I know, right? Because when I get on, soon as I'm on Rumble full time, man, I'm gonna unleash. It's one of my favorite words, you know. Yeah, one of my favorite words, man. You know. Yep, especially with the stupidity. I'll ban you. I know, right? But you know what though? I got a censor button. I said I was gonna start using, so I got my censor button though. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because it is high pitch. But you guys hear that? It's high pitch, boy. God, I got to turn it down. Woo, that's high pitch. I don't use it often, but it's high pitch, man. Woo, that censor is high pitch, man. I don't want to burn y'all ears out. But yeah, man, that censor button, though. But I do have my new one, though, too, you know. Yeah, I'm going to have to redo that one, though, too, man. But you can't really hear that one. Yeah, so I pretty much got my sound bites and stuff in play, you know, and the one that you guys love with the laughing, you know who that is, right? Oh my goodness, though, you know. Let me hear some words from Tom Holman.
We're going to take whatever resources we have. We're going to start on day one, and we're going to start the deportation operation. We're going to secure the border, and we're going to find look to find over 300,000 children that were smuggled in the country and released by the sponsors. So day one, it starts. We're going to do as much as you can with what we got.
Yeah, I know that's right, Tom Holman. That's Tom Holman, y'all. You know, Yeah, so Omega says the value of gold isn't going up. It's the value of the dollar going down. Yep, I said the same thing though. I'm in agreement with you though. It is because you already know the fiat currency, the Federal Reserve, and all that stuff is in a brink of going bankrupt. Absolutely. Yep. Tom, it's at home in 2028. I like it. I like it. You know? Yeah, the devaluation of the dollar, though. Trump is purposely bankrupting the Western Federal Reserve Bank. They purposely are bankrupting them, and he's got them pretty much where he wants because they really don't have to. They're not in control anywhere in the world anymore. And it's probably one of the reasons why we're seeing a lot of these false flag terrorist operations, still trying to go for World War III, pushing all these things though, because they're in a very, very bad position right now, coming from the deep state. They're in a very, very bad situation here. So it's just a matter of time though. So with Trump and the Patriots, it sounds like a movie out of Star Wars, man. That's what this sounds like, man. I mean, you got somebody as Darth Hideous instead of Sidious as Hideous, you know, that's running everything, though. We may not know who the major player is. Everybody got their part, though, you know, but, you know, who y'all think is going to be Darth Hideous? And then we got the Empire, you know, which is the deep state, you know, and how they have trying to use execute order 66. Let me do my you know, I can do Darth Sidious too, you know. Execute order 66. Get this Jedi scum out of my sight. Yeah, that's like I just like to, you know, say that I do some you know, maybe I'm gonna do some sound bites though with Darth Sidious, you know, or Darth Hideous. You have to call me Darth Hideous, you know, not Sidious, but Hideous, you know. No, I don't look that bad. Yeah, but yeah, though, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that's something else. You know, I can tell I'm a big Star Wars fan, right? Ever since 1978. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing, though, y'all, you know? Yeah, where do you think the laugh is from, you know? Darth Hideous, everybody. Darth Hideous. Yeah, man. So, yeah, well, we had a great time today. Exposing corruption, talking about all this contradictory, non-common sense type of practices coming from the left. We blasted out those rhino no good Republicans as well. Yeah, so we talked about that as well. We talked about Camel Toe Harris.
Well, I'd love to stay and chat, but you're a total bitch.
I mean, yeah, that's basically what it is, though, without saying right there, man, you know? Yeah, but yeah, man. Yep, so other than that, though, you guys, though, man, it's been fun in the sun, man. I missed the summer, man. We had some good summer months, though, too, boy, I tell you. Yep, we had some good summer months, though. You guys like my new backdrop? You know, we say, Omega says, sorry, but my, what's that? Bad leaf coat cuts all the wait a moment, hold on for a minute. I mean, hold on for a minute. Boy, Omega with these words, boy. See, English is kicking my butt, man. English, hold on for a minute. Let me find out what this is. English is kicking my ass, boy. Boy, that high IQ of Omega, boy. The bat lathe cuts all the threads to Packers. And you're damn right. I'm better than you. Better than yours. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, I thought you were gonna hit me with a big word there for a minute, man. I was looking at it. the bat leaf. Yeah. What is the bat leaf? I'm too lazy to look it up right now, man. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me see here. Oh, okay. I know what that is. That is the Klingon. I never knew the name of that thing, the curvy blade. That's the Klingon war, the thing that Lieutenant Worf was wielding around. Now, you know I'm a Trekkie fan, man. You got me. You got me. Yep, that's what that's called. It says it's a double-sided hybrid edge weapon with a curved blade, 4 points, and 3 handholds on the back. Man, can you imagine if I rolled around with that, man? I would have to have a special permit for it, wouldn't I? Can you imagine? Oh man, yeah, that's exactly. I pulled it up though, Mega. You're absolutely right though, man. I admit, I'm a Trekkie fan, man. I'm about that life, man. I never knew the name of that blade though, to be honest, but it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a Trekkie fan, you may have seen it. Yep, you may have seen it or maybe not. Back, brother. Okay, yeah, there's my. Hey, Michael, let me ask you a question, man. How did you find me, man? I know you coming up on YouTube though. Did you get a notification? Did you get a notification when I went live, Michael? I'm just trying to figure out how did you find me? Yeah, puny Jedi. Yeah, I know, right? All right, Klingon Empire. Sovo called do. Oh, now Omega, man, I knew it. I knew Omega would start speaking their language, man. I knew it. I knew Omega is a Trekkie as well. You know you bad when you can speak some Klingon, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know you bad, man. The Klingon ritual. I love the Klingon ritual with the woman Klingon where they have to if you strike her across the face, that means you're attracted to her, man. This warrior race stuff, Michael said it just shows up on my YouTube feed. Good. I was doing Darth Hideous again, man. Oh yeah, that's good. That's a good thing. Huh? So you were able to find me organically. Oh, yeah, maybe some hope for me on YouTube after, but I'm still on Rumble. Still got to go over there though. If you can follow me on Rumble, you see what's scrolling down below. It says a random male with 2 M's because I'm actually feeding my feed over there as well. I'm also on Twitch, Kick, as well as Rumble. But I appreciate you finding me though, Michael. If it showed up on your feed, yeah, man, I was because I can't see it when I go live. Oh, it did. Okay, that's great. That's great news. Okay, that's great news, man. Okay. Because I forgot to ask you earlier, but I'm glad that you came back. Yeah. We're just over here on the winding down right now, talking about Star Trek, Klingon stuff. I don't know if you're a Trekkie or a Star Wars person, but sci-fi is definitely one of my favorites. I've been to a lot of the conventions and stuff like that. Never dressed up though. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate it. I appreciate it from a distance, but I do. But yeah, I'm glad it showed up on your feed, man. Yeah. We have a pretty good live stream over here. You had a chance to hear it. Michael says, happy to find you. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm happy that you found me too, man. Yeah, we're just a big family over here just kicking it right now before I get ready to start heading out to work all night long. All night. I don't want to sing that because I get copyright on that. But Michael, I used to play, they'll tell you, man, I used to have American flagging. I used to play the Star Spangled Banner before and after the show. But it's copyrighted stuff though, and I had a good run, but yeah, they hit me with a copyright infringement the last time I did it. So yeah, I can't do that no more. Yep. So, but yeah, man, appreciate you though, man. We just having some fun here, being part of something great though, and but yeah, exposing the lies that are being said though. I know we talked about Candace Owens when you were gone. We talked about that opposition. We talked about David Pacman and all the rest of them. Michael says, not really. I used to watch the original Star Trek in the 60s. That's fair though, man. That's fair. You probably either grew up with the show or you watched a lot of reruns. See, I watched a lot of reruns with Star Trek when I was exposed to it. It was a lot of reruns, but I watched the originals. My brother loves the original Star Treks, and I do too. I like them. They had some great storylines, man. You know, you know what I'm saying? Had some great story. It was really great stuff, man. Leonard Nimoy was one of everybody's favorite. Anybody like William Shatner or George Takei? He always, man, it's amazing, man. Yeah, George Takei talks. Yeah, I enunciate my words. You know. Yeah, so him and William Shatner can't stand each other. That's fact. I heard him say some stuff about William Shatner. Oh my gosh, William Shatner, I heard he was hard to work with, man. You can just see that though, you know. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, Michael says growing up watching. Yeah, I know, right? Great storylines though, man. Yeah, I remember the ones where was it this was it the seeds or the spoils of fear? Yep. Yeah, there was episodes, some of my favorite episodes, you know. Yep. Some of my favorite episodes. Yep. Let me see. There was one called The Man Trap, you know, landing on the planet, which was called M113. I know Omega gonna know this one. When the Enterprise was struck by that creature. You remember that one, no, Omega? I already know. Remember Charlie X? So now we're gonna talk before I go. We're gonna talk about some Star Trek stuff, guys. I mean, we may as well go ahead on and do it. No, it was George Takei, who was Team Shatner. Don't die before that clown. I know, right? That was 20 years ago. Yeah. Oh, let me read up. I missed something. Hold on, friend. Joe Mama said I played paintball with Bill Shatner in Pennsylvania. He's a cheating MFer. I didn't know that for real. You mean to tell me that Bill Shatner still can play paintball, man? Don't you gotta move around? Haven't been able to do that since TJ Hooker. Man, I'm amazed at that one though, man. He's still been able to dodge and get down. What is he like in his 90s? Yeah. Yeah, man. Charlie X was interesting too. When remember when the Enterprise they helped Charlie Evans, which was Charlie X. He was the lone survivor, right? Crashed 14 years ago, and then he threatens the security of the ship. When he took over it with his mind, he had that telekinesis and stuff like that. It was called Charlie X. You guys remember that one? Shatner. I think he's 95. Yeah, you may be right. Yeah, that's about right. Hence the cheating. I can actually believe that, you know, because he don't like to lose on nothing, you know. Now read the second column. Let me see. Comment. I mean, it was 20 years ago. All right. Don't die before. Hold on for a minute. Let me come over here because I don't want to miss a thing though. 20 years ago with Shatner, I played paintball. The originals I grew up watching. Watch that. Okay, 94. Okay, 94 years old. Okay. Okay, hence the cheating Shatner. Okay, now read the 20 years ago. No, George Katine was okay. I read that one. Played okay. Yeah, it was 20 years ago. Yeah, they had some great episodes, man. They really did. They had some great episodes. I'm over here looking at some of them now. The Naked Time. So the Man Trap was episode 1. I think Gene Roddenberry's wife was in there too. Y'all remember the hot blonde back then? You know, that was supposed to be Gene Roddenberry's wife that played in Charlie X. And then you had episode 3 where no man has gone before. And then you had episode number 4, The Naked Time. Number 5, episode 5, The Enemy Within, where there was a transporter malfunction. I remember this one too. Stan Sulu and others that was Frigid Planet and split Kirk into a authentic person. I remember that episode too, man. I remember it. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I was about that life, man. Can y'all imagine though, man, if we were actually on a ship, Star Trek and stuff like that? We're actually on a ship hurling through space or actually, you know what I'm saying, the jet propulsions. They say that the aliens that's already here, they don't want to give us that technology. They say we'll be hell. We'll be let out of our cage here on Earth, man. Be creating all kind of havoc and everything. I've heard other stories too about us being a simulation. I've heard about the grays are supposed to be us in the future, how we evolved and we came back in time and stuff like that. I would hope that we didn't evolve to look like no grays, man. I can't tell the difference between the women grades and the men. They ain't got no hair. All bald headed and everything with big black piercing eyes and stuff. Man, can you imagine if that was us? If that was true, can you imagine if that was us in the future though, man? For real, for real? Yeah, fun fact, Gene Roddenberry was an Army Ranger and a Army pilot during World War II. Never knew that. That's amazing. Michael says, I have to ask your name so I know who I'm talking to. My name is Tony, man. I am Tony G in the place to be. Anthony Tony. Yep, that's me, though, you know. So sorry I didn't tell you that earlier, though. Usually on the beginning of the show, I usually introduce my name and stuff instead of being some random guy. Who is this some random guy, you know? But there's my side profile on my actual photo there. I took that picture in Arizona. That's why you see the cactuses and all that. I actually took that photo when I was in Arizona back in 2021. I was out there visiting a friend of mine. Used to live out there too. Thinking about moving back there though, actually, you know, but we'll see. We will see though, man. Yep. Nice to meet you too, Michael, as well. Michael Dillon. Yep. Yeah, no problem at all, man. I'm glad you found my channel, man. Wow, that's amazing. Came up on your feed. That's amazing, you know. Yep, I haven't had an organic, but I get the organic people, they pop in up here. They usually pop in and pop out though, so those are not my followers. But you stuck around, man, and you like what I had to say today, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Where over here, we're always about making America great again, man. This ain't just a Republican thing. This is just a thing in general. Make America great. Make America great. That's what that's all about, you know? Yep. So I like Trump's stance on the reciprocity with the CPL and all that in 50 states and all that stuff. But you know, with the Dems, though, they ain't gonna follow that. Did y'all hear, man, about now that Trump is with the no tax on tips and so forth, and how Chicago and a lot of these other Democrat-led governors and government are not going to uphold the federal law. Isn't that interesting? Now, Michael says, I like what the topic was about. Yeah, I try to do things that matter to most Americans besides the economy. Let's face it, man, illegal immigration is really a thing here, man. Let me see here. What's going on here? It says here, peak traffic on AI clips. Clip generation is experiencing a high demand. You may notice longer processing times or occasional timeouts. Yeah, this is the time, man. Even with StreamYard, man, there's more people that are on here now, especially around this time. So this is the first time I ever got this message before. Am I still connected? Can you guys still hear me? Yeah, because we, you know, while you still, I hope I'm not lagging out. But it says here, because I did the title that says Democrats push back against the mass deportation, the battle lines in 2025. This year is almost over with, man. Wow, man. It wasn't too long ago that President Trump got in, was elected as the president, people's president, peaceful peace president. Yeah. Let me see here. Michael says there are rumors that Trump may announce we're going to war with Venezuela. Yeah, it's a possibility though, man. Because what people don't realize, Trump have already, I know what you meant, Venezuela. Trump have already isolated Venezuela as he should. This is the heart of the cartel. We already know that Maduro is being backed by the deep state. He's another deep state puppet, no difference than Zelensky, right? So what is he to do? The bombing of the ships, the Dems are pushing back on that, saying that these ships and what Pete Hegseth is doing is totally it's a war crime. They're trying to impeach him. They're trying to get him. And what people don't realize, and I know you guys are military, when you have a flag on your vessel, right, that becomes that you are a person of that country. You know what I'm saying? When you have that flag. But when a flag is not flown at all, you're classified as a pilot. That means you lose all your sovereignty on an international water, right? So if these ships, right? So, oh yeah, I appreciate the thumbs up. But so if these ships that Pete Hegseth and the military are blowing up, all these ships do not wave a flag on the boat. So they are considered to be what? Pirates. And see, with the average person don't know all this stuff, right? So they're just going to go with the narrative coming from the left, trying to make these people look like they're just fishermen. Because let's keep it real, right? Let's keep it 100. We know that the Dems, right? The Dems need the cartel. This is also where they get their funding from. Now their funding is being crippled. When we had Biden, we had Obama, and all the rest of them. You ain't heard no attacks on the cartel ever. There was an operation going in and out of America, drugs everywhere. It was nothing. You never heard anything. Now all of a sudden, since Trump decided to do something, he said he was going to drain the swamp, going after the cartel, the deep state. That's what he's been doing. And now he's getting all the pushback. We ain't never seen this many attacks coming from a president, on a president before. A sitting president. Michael Dillon says, push back on the entire administration on everything. Yeah, and we all see it here in America. You even got people that are liberals that said, man, I can't roll with this. A lot of them were done with Charlie Kirk, with the assassination behind that. So they are in the Dems right now are in a bad place right now. But they ain't got no choice. Trump give them an opportunity, but they're not going to take the opportunity because they already know it's inevitable. Unfortunately, they still control a lot of the lower courts. We still got a lot of them, Obama and Biden and some Clinton judges in there. You know what I'm saying? Every time they try to put back in and try to go after Letitia James, judges already kick it out all the time. They're just kind of testing the water and seeing what's going on. And these are just open shut criminal cases. But she's being protected, and she knows she is. She's being protected. Comey is being protected. James Comey. These people are being protected. Try to hold off until the midterms. Because the Dems, they want to take power again. We all know that. Daniel Kai from Cobra Kai on Kick. Yep, that's a pretty interesting avatar, man. Kick got some pretty interesting avatars over there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the chat. Yep. What's that? Dino Kai. I thought it said Daniel, but of Cobra Kai. I'm still gonna say that though, because he got this cobra snake on there. Yeah. But yeah, man. So yes, I appreciate everybody, man. We just had a good old time. Yeah, they would tell you, man, we should have these conversations like this later on and stuff. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing. Michael says people need to step up for the midterms and vote MAGA. Yeah, they're gonna have to, man, because they're gonna see what the left are gonna really be doing. They're already trying to stop the big beautiful bill with the ACA, Affordable Care Act. We're starting to see other things. You know what I'm saying? They know what's coming. They even had got the attorney general. I mean, what's the name? They even got her out of there and stuff like that for right now. These people are panicked out. They know what's to come. They know what's coming. And then the Epstein stuff don't make it any better. Rob Reiner and his wife, whatever. I already covered that story a few days ago. So they arrested Nick Reiner. They got him because they already had him as a person of interest anyway. The lacerations, the stabbings, and the slicking of the throat. Yeah, it's a horrible way to die, though, man. So, yeah, what do you guys think about that with Rob Reiner? You know, the one that brought us when Harry met Sally, Princess Bride, that guy, Hollywood producer, right? Michael says people are getting complacent. Yeah, they're getting complacent. And they're doing more and more stupid, desperate moves and mistakes coming from the deep state elites and stuff. Because we were never supposed to find out about the USAID fund. We were never supposed to find out about this Obamacare and affordable health care, how that was broken all down. We were never supposed to find out about as far as with the Act Blue and all of these other things, you know. We were never supposed to find out about this stuff. The dark money operative shields and all this other stuff that they're doing, we were never supposed to find out about it. And now that the people have been red pilled and awakened, they know, people in America know something isn't right. They see what's going on now. Where we have coups and people that are against the people of America, right? And they want to keep and push their own agendas, keep us in bondage and in slavery. They say the taxes, how that ain't cool. Or what is JB Pritzker? They still gonna run the taxes though, man. And they can do this because they still have, unfortunately, the majority of people that are judges and stuff. A lot of their low-level judges and stuff, Pelham Court and Ninth District and all this other stuff, Ninth District judges and all the rest of them, man. Michael says, if Kamala was elected, Trump would be in prison. Absolutely. Absolutely. That 34 counts, they had to throw out, what was it, 19 counts coming from Fonnie Willis? Yeah, they had to throw a lot of that stuff out, though, you know? Yeah. So, and I'm sure that the other stuff with Trump on Big Mama Letitia James, I think they're going to throw that out, though, too, because it has no bearings. They cannot produce any other victims. The money was already paid back. What is the problem? But, you know, people like Letitia James, Fannie Willis, they project. All it is, they're just projecting for what they did. All the stuff that Letitia James accused Trump of doing, she did it. She was the one that had that house over there in Virginia when she was in her district in New York. She was the one that did all this type of stuff. It was her. Falsified, you know, all the rest of the stuff, mortgage fraud. But it's all good. Leave it up to her. Everybody do it. You just coming after me because I'm a strong black woman. I'm a strong black woman. Yeah, Fonnie's case was thrown out. And with the biggest thing about it, because we know they had their affair going on. That's what happened with that. So it was that was all falling apart too, because they didn't really have anything. They didn't have wasn't no witness. I mean, who was the victim? They were trying to convince us that there was a victim. Who was the victim? They couldn't even produce that. Yeah, and I appreciate it though too. 100. Michael said 100%, brother. Yeah, they couldn't even produce a victim. But there's a lot of people that hate Trump so much. This is about hating Trump. This is Trump. This is Trump derangement syndrome. When you hate someone like Trump, hater, you hate Trump, right? So if you are a hater, you're going to automatically not see the other side. They refuse to see it. They just painted this man like a modern day Hitler. And the hatred steadily just grows, man. It's truly amazing. Don't have anything. Projection and TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. But you're absolutely right. Yeah. So, let me see here. I got something else too. Hold on for a minute. I did this is my actual, I'm going to actually start doing more of my own content instead of, because I know from another content creator, Black Business Corp, man, I appreciate you, but he said I'm using too much of other people's stuff. So I appreciate that though too, because I know he's been in the space a lot longer than me, and I check him out too. You guys should check out Black Business Corp and things like that. Yeah, he actually plays down the middle a little bit more. So he's not a Trump supporter, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. He plays a little bit more middle of the road. But you can tell I'm a little bit more on the right, because I believe that Trump is the best thing that we actually have, to be really honest. I don't see anybody else out there. I'm putting all my cards on Trump, you know what I'm saying? That's how I'm rolling. You know what I'm saying, guys? That's exactly how I'm rolling. I don't see anything else. We don't have anything else. But yeah, so that's when I started this, and I liked where it was going, what Trump was doing and stuff. So yeah. Michael says TDS is a real thing. It really is. It's a real problem, and we need to have bringing back the insane asylums, man. We got to bring those back, because there's a lot of people out there that really needs help, and you know what I'm saying, really needs help. This is a bit of a documentary thing, not a documentary, just kind of this is in regards to the policies that Trump's 2004 policies, what you didn't know.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm breaking down Donald Trump's 2024 agenda. Whether you love him or not, his policies have a huge impact on the country, so let's dive in. First up, economy and jobs. Back in 2017, Trump passed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, reducing corporate tax rates and simplifying the tax code. The idea was to spur economic growth by making it easier for businesses to invest right here in the US, and it worked. We saw record low unemployment rates before the pandemic hit. Plus, Trump rolled back a ton of federal regulations, which he claimed helped businesses cut through red tape and really get things moving. And don't forget, he pushed for energy independence by boosting domestic production of oil, gas, and coal, aiming to create more jobs in the energy sector. Next, let's talk immigration reform. Trump made border security a top priority, focusing on building that infamous wall and enforcing stricter immigration laws to curb.
I meant to say this should have been 2025. I put down 2024. Typo. Oopsies. That's what ended up happening.
Legal immigration. His administration also aimed to penalize sanctuary cities that didn't cooperate with federal immigration enforcement, and he proposed a merit-based immigration system, hoping to attract highly skilled immigrants. Finally, trade policies. Trump took an America First approach,
renegotiating NAFTA into the USMCA to better benefit US workers and industries. He also slapped tariffs on China to tackle trade imbalances and intellectual property theft. These policies are designed to boost the economy, protect American jobs, and ensure national security. Whether you agree with them or not, they're central to Trump's 2024 campaign. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more political breakdowns. Catch you in the next one.
Okay. So
more famous than that. So I took that.
Maybe let's get that off there. Sorry. Hold on.
Hey everyone, welcome back to.
Hold on for a minute. All right, hold on for a minute. All right, let's go ahead and move that away there. But so yeah though, gentlemen. So yeah, I did that one a while back last year. But everything that you saw on there though, Michael as well. I mean, this was Trump's campaign promise that he ran on. And one thing I got to say, man, this is a president that I never seen someone that kept so many promises when it come down to making America great again and everything like that. And some of the people forgot about that. I mean, you know, it's going to take some time getting the economy and stuff together. We're already seeing gas prices go down. Some of the beef and stuff like that are starting to go down and things. But yeah, Michael says, discussion is great. It's your thing, your content. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it very much though, you know. So yeah, so other than that, yeah, this is I know I did the Somali thing. I talked about that too, talked a little bit about the legal immigration, since their protection, their temporary protection status has been removed from a lot of these people. They've been rounding up the Afghanis, people in Dearborn, the Palestinians, the ones deaf to America chant, all this other stuff. And then with all the crime and the criminal stuff that a lot of the Somalis that we're doing over there, they got busted. A lot of them are being rounded up even as we speak, you know, by ICE agents and stuff. So we definitely are seeing the tides turn now. We're noticing the more jobs are starting to, especially in the trucking and other avenues and stuff. People need workers now and things like that. I like Trump's approach with the HB1 visas. He made them like, was it $100,000 in order if you have to hire someone from another country. I talked about on one of my other channels, I talked about the tariffs, taxes and stuff like that too. And that was a real good one right there, because I went into depth regards to how much money and things like that Trump was collecting, filling up the coffers and stuff like that. So there was a lot of things that Trump and his administration has been doing and things like that. So if I were to do this, because, you know, people know I'm rah-rah, man, about I back a winner, man. So yeah, I'm rah-rah about that every day, all day, you know. So yeah, for my close here, let me see here. We're going to go to the president's what was it called? Yeah, it was called Agenda 45. This is what 47. I'm sorry. This is the one that Trump ran on originally. Yeah. This is the one. Let me go ahead and pull this up too, because they be thinking I'm over here be trying to troll and stuff like that, you know, but I'm really not, man. I really like to show, really, you know, show to the people in general what Trump ran on and stuff like that. I mean, let me show you this real quick before I go. This is here it is right here. This is the campaign website right here, Agenda 47. This is what Trump ran on. Look at this right here. Read the official 2024 Republican Party platform. This is it right here. President Trump's 20 core promise to make America great again. This is the first one, right? Let me enlarge it just a little bit, make it a little bigger. Number one, seal the border and stop the migrant invasion. He has done that. Number two, carry out the largest deportation operation in American history. He's actually doing it, and you're going to see that ramp up even more once the big beautiful bill kicks in, because the funding is going to really be there. There's ICE agents by the thousands that are waiting in line to be ICE agents. Number three, end inflation and make America affordable again, which is what Trump has been doing when he created the external revenue service instead of the internal revenue service. Instead of being taxed from its citizens, he's taxing other countries to sell goods and service over here to America. So I'm all rah-rah about that. Number four, make America the dominant energy producer in the world by far. He's already doing this as well too. The drill, baby, drill, the coal, the steel industry. He already declared that we were emergency energy, right? His goal was to make us dominant again without relying on Canada or no one. Number five, stopping outsourcing, turning the United States into a manufacturing superpower. Number six, the large tax cuts for workers and no tax on tips. So these are beautiful things, which is in the big, beautiful bill, right? Number seven, defend our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and our fundamental freedoms, including freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the right to keep and bear arms. This was Trump's campaign promise. Many of us know this and remember this, right? This is a beautiful thing right here. I never heard a president go to bat for the Constitution no more than what Trump did. Number eight, right? Prevent the world, right? Prevent World War III, restore peace in Europe and in the Middle East, and build a great Iron Dome missile defense shield over the entire country, made in America. Number nine, end the weaponization of government against the American people. Number 10, stop the migrant crime epidemic. This is why we got ICE out here right now demolishing the foreign drug cartel, right? Crushing gang violence and locking up violent offenders. These are the things that Trump ran on. This is what 77 million people plus voted for. Rebuilding our cities, including Washington, D.C. He has done this, making them safe and clean and beautiful. He has went into Washington, D.C., L.A. He's even gone into Memphis, Tennessee, which was one of the worst, and in Chicago. He's doing this, right? Number 12, strengthening, and modernize our military, making it without question one of the strongest and the most powerful in the world. Already are doing this. Got all the queers and freaks and weirdos out. All this trans stuff. Got rid of all that different color hair, nose rings, bull rings. You want men and women to be respected. But that's why right now the military is being respected again. You're going to be in shape. You ain't going to be fat and all out of shape. You're going to be in shape. You're going to be about this country. You have taken an oath. And he reminds the military of remember your oath. Number 13, keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. This is why we're seeing with the precious metals and the crypto stuff and all the rest of the stuff that's going on. Number 14, fight for and protect Social Security, Medicaid, with no cuts, including no changes to the retirement ages. Remember when the Dems lied and said that he was cutting Medicaid and Medicare? It was another hit piece designed to sway voters from Trump. Didn't work. Number 15, right? Cancel electric vehicle mandates and cut the costly, burdensome regulations. He's been doing that because before they were pushing a mandate on electric vehicles, trying to get everybody to plug in on these old stupid chargers and everything like that. And you know how much of the grid, how much money it would have to. It was all the money grab anyway. Number 16, cut federal funding for any school pushing any critical race theory, radical gender ideology, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content. These are all what we call executive orders that are being coded right now as law. Trump has remembered, he learned, I should say, when back in 2016, when Biden got in there, cheated and got in there, he undermined and took out all of the executive orders, like 80 some odd executive orders that Trump wrote. He removed them. This time, any president get in there, once these become law, they're going to be very difficult to remove. And right now, they're being coded as being law. Number 17, keep men out of women's sports. This was the one that I love so much, right? This is what a lot of women don't like men in their sports. Men don't like to see men in women's sports. We don't want to keep men out of women's sports, right? These are men. That's all they are. Two genders, one male, one female. Number 18, deport pro-Hamas racial, right? And make our colleges, campuses safe and patriotic again. Boy, that's what I'm saying. We are so blessed to have a president like Trump. I don't know what to do. Number 19, secure our elections, including same-day voting, voter ID identification, paper ballots, and proof of citizenship, right? Same-day results. This is all in there, right? Number 20, unite our country by bringing it to a new and record levels of success. This is Trump's campaign promise back in 2024. This is very hard to dispute and debate, because anybody that have read see what's going on and see what's happening now, this is what he ran on. This was Trump's campaign promise. It's a beautiful thing. So other than that, I'm gonna go with the close. That's my time. Welcome down to one viewer. I appreciate you guys joining Some Random Guy Speaks. I'm your host, Tony, once again. I love talking about Make America Great Again. Godspeed to Trump, Godspeed to America, and Godspeed to you guys that showed up in this room. I really appreciate you guys, though, man. So on my close, does any of you have anything to say before I exit the channel? If not, then I'm just going to shut it down. And don't forget to follow me on Rumble as well, too, and things. So you guys can follow me over there. I appreciate you guys for being a part of something great and things like that. So yeah, it's been real cool and things. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Yeah, I think that is mainly, yeah, I think that's all that we need. Okay, sorry about that, guys. A little bit of an intermission, you know. But other than that, though, I appreciate you guys for showing up, watching the channel and things like that. And we're going to hit it out of the park tomorrow as well, too. I appreciate you guys very much. Man, it's been over 3 hours and almost 3.5 hours. Oh, my goodness. Okay, but yeah, so other than that, I got to run. I got to make some money. Yep. It ain't no fun. It ain't fun day without no money. Gotta have some money for a honey. But I appreciate you guys. You guys stay encouraged, stay blessed, stay warm. If you're in the cold regions, if you're in the warm regions, stay cool. Till next time, I will see you once again. This is Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony G. I appreciate you guys. And peace.